Hello everybody, what is up? Welcome back. This is the Uncensored Anime Podcast, a podcast where we talk about all things anime uncensored, and we are your hosts. I am David, we have Kenny, we got Jerry, and we have a very amazing special guest with us here for this episode. The one, the only, the amazing, the wonderful HVLManga.
I'm flattered.
Welcome to the show, HVL.
Thank you. Thank you.
Today's episode, we're just going to be chatting it up with her, shooting the shit, a little interview here, a little, see what's coming up next, see where she started. So
yeah,
let's just hop right into it. So HVL, tell us, give us the intro. Who are you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I feel like I should do borderline my YouTube intro. Hey everyone.
Oh yes, do it.
Okay. Okay,
everyone,
ready?
Yeah, okay, everybody be quiet.
This is so weird. Okay. Hey everyone, it's HVLManga here. So hey guys, it's HVLManga. I post pretty much manga things on the internet. I'm a YouTuber. I have an Instagram, pretty much HVLManga everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of do nerdy shit. So
nice.
This is where we are.
Are you just no underscores, no space? You're just HVLManga on every platform?
I am just HVLManga. Yep.
Believe
it or not, the username was available.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I don't know.
I mean, Tibby wasn't
on?
available, so
I'm about to say every time I tried to get I recently tried to change my handle because I'm Jerry's Got Pops on every social media. And I was like, oh, I'm going to rebrand because Funko Pops are great. But, I was like, so I tried to go with Jerry Sensei, and I thought that would be an easy one. But it's claimed on every social, people already have Jerry Sensei, Jerry Sensei. I mean, people already have it with Japanese katakana. There's no variation of it. And I was like, well, shit, I guess I can't have that social media name, but I guess.
Usernames are so frustrating because it's how is this taken? How?
Yeah. You have to add like dumb numbers on the end, and it just doesn't look as cool. And you're like, man.
No.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay, so, HVL, are you on TikTok? I have to ask this because I don't know if you do TikToks or not.
I do.
Do you post a lot?
No, I would say a lot, but I've posted one day I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a TikToker today. And so I made a lot of stuff and I posted it for a while, but I haven't made one recently.
Okay. So everyone listening,
but yes.
Everyone listening should go follow HVLManga on TikTok specifically. That's what we want.
I don't know why.
Only TikTok.
Yeah.
Only TikTok. Follow her on TikTok. We'll link it in the description, guys.
I'm gonna say, I will say, being on TikTok and admitting that is embarrassing. Even though it's such a popular platform, it's I don't want to no, I'm not on TikTok. Nope, that's.
But you with the young kids, you're like, oh.
Does it make you feel hip and cool?
I'm not a young kid though. I feel like the young kids are the 12-year-olds on TikTok making $5,000 a video. What?
Hey, we can only dream, right? That's.
What if I was making that much money at 12 years old? I don't know what I'd be spending it on. I'd be done for it.
Do you know that one kid that literally, what's his name on YouTube? I forgot his name, but he literally just unboxes toys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about the bit, I think his name's Ryan's World or something. Ryan something.
Yeah.
How does parents take his money though? I feel like that's for sure.
He's 12. Right? Who else is taking his money? I don't know.
I guess you're right.
I don't know. What is he doing with millions of dollars?
I mean, he earned it. It's his content.
I mean, you're right, but
he's
I assume as much as it is his content, I have always worked in the assumption that he's just the talent, and his parents probably produce and create and post and do all that. So,
I mean, they have people to do it.
Well, at this point, you're probably maybe when they started they did it, but they definitely don't do it now.
A whole
I bet
production crew.
When you're making millions, no way.
I cannot.
Okay. HVL, I have to ask also, what is the origin of your username? Where did this come from? What's the, I've always wondered this. So I was like, where, I think I understand the manga part, but I don't get the rest of it.
I have a guess.
Yeah.
You're probably right. It's my initials.
Oh.
HVL are my initials. My name is Hannah, if you didn't know that.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh.
I just slapped it together and called it a day.
That's incredibly simple and way more I was way overcomplicating it.
What did you think it was?
I don't know. I thought maybe it meant something or stood for something or that it was shorthand or that it was something. Yeah. I thought it had
will
some sort of.
You know what's so bad? Okay, my automate. What is it? It's like automatically generated captions like on my videos. Whenever I say hi, it's HVLManga, it captions it as hi, I'm HIV manga. It's the worst thing. It's the
YouTube,
worst.
what are you doing?
Oh no!
I think about that all the time. I'm like, this is not good.
Someone out there that's hard of hearing, they're watching your videos like, man, I really gotta unsubscribe to her, dude.
HIV manga.
Jeez.
It's so bad. I'm like,
They're like, yeah, she's got
I need to do my
issues.
captions or something.
Yeah, I've never messed with YouTube. I just always do the auto-generated too, so I have no idea like what that process looks like, but that makes sense.
Honestly, I don't either, to be honest.
So, HVL, how long have you been doing YouTube now at this point? As long as we're starting on your origin story, how long have you been into doing YouTube?
So, it's actually funny. I had a YouTube account in the past, but not for manga. So, I've been doing YouTube for honestly years, but I just started this manga account this past December of 2020.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, you're not even a year old.
A year yet. Nope.
Wow, that's amazing. But you had been doing some YouTube before that. Did your other YouTube pop off? Like, was it like 100,000 subs or?
It had, well, not popped off is a relative word, I guess, but it had, I want to say, at its peak, maybe like 4,000. I want to say, and then I just stopped posting, so then obviously kind of died out.
Right.
But yeah.
So the manga channel's the main creative outlet now.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the main source of it. Okay, well that's rock and roll. All right.
Sweet.
So HVL, I'm sure you've been thinking, obviously, since we prepped all of our people about it, the only real question we ask. But for those of you that have watched the podcast before and seen the many episodes we've done with guests, the first question we always ask is for them to tell us what their 3 favorite anime are. Anime or manga, in your case, HVL as well, so you could pick a manga instead, maybe something that doesn't have an adaptation yet. But the way that we always define this for our listeners at home is that we don't want them to give us the 3 anime that they think are the best, right? We don't want them maybe like the ones that are obvious 10 out of 10s, blah, blah, blah. We want the 3 that are most important to them, their true favorites. We always ask, what are their 3 legitimate favorite series of all time, whether that be manga or anime, whichever you prefer, HVL. So, rock and roll. The floor is yours, and obviously we're gonna try not to roast you too hard. That's like our one thing is that we try to let our guests slide on whatever their 3 favorite are. But
too hard is an operative term there.
Yeah, I'm about to say, but we
easy on me now.
we obviously have to comment depending on what your 3 favorite are. We obviously have to have some thoughts. So let's hear it. HVL, give it to us.
Okay. So can I do both manga and anime, even though I don't watch a lot of
You
anime?
want to do 3 anime series and 3 manga series?
Allowed?
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, this is your podcast. Yeah.
This is your podcast.
You're the boss.
We're just here. We're just here.
Let me check the rules real quick. 1 second. Let me go through the bylaws.
Can you check the rule book really quick? Oh. We lost her for a second.
Oh.
You're back.
Oh, what happened there?
Don't worry.
I think you did a shimmy and then you just like broke.
Yeah, you literally you broke the whole thing out.
Oh.
You're flipped, by the way. Do you want to try to flip your camera?
Oh really?
Oh.
Oh jeez, this is a problem.
Try to flip it.
Well, those shelves look
I don't know
great,
why
though, honestly.
Don't worry, we'll edit it out in post. This is pretty much this happens every episode.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
I disconnect every episode and we stopped editing
Oh my
it
gosh,
out.
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
No, okay, so we
you're
have this
fine.
thing where we have this running joke on the podcast where Kenny disconnects every episode. And the first like 10 or so episodes, we used to cut it out.
Just
we would edit it out,
yeah.
just pretend like it never happened.
Yeah.
And then eventually we just started rolling with it. And that's just become like our running gag because it's just an expectation at this point. Kenny's gonna disconnect. So, but this episode you can tag HVL's disconnect in the comments down below. No, she can be the Kenny for this episode.
Sorry.
No, I'm joking. You're the best. You're the best. Okay.
You're fine.
3 manga and 3 anime then. Let's hear it.
Okay. So I'm gonna do manga first.
Okay.
So my favorite of all time series, I mean.
We're starting at number 1 and counting down to 3. Is that what we're gonna do? Okay.
I think it's easy. Yeah.
There's reason, I promise. Okay.
Okay.
Number 1, I think everyone kind of gets Berserk. Come on now.
Yeah.
Like I can't even put a guilty pleasure series above that. I couldn't. Like
He was always
could not.
Femto. He was always Femto. Fuck that
It's
dude.
so good. The art, the story building, the character. It's so good. I could talk about it all day. My second favorite is another one that I mean, it was my first favorite until Berserk came around. It's Vinland Saga.
Oh yeah.
Just so good.
Also peak.
I love
Gorgeous,
the characters. Askeladd. Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started on that man. Anyways, so good. And then the third one, it's gonna be weird putting these two words together with this book. I would argue this is a guilty pleasure one, but I hate using that word because when I think of guilty pleasure, I think of, you know, how heavy are the dumbbells that you lift, or like My Dress Up Darling, and it's not like those at all.
Right.
Okay, my third one and guilty pleasure is Battle Royale.
Okay. No, yeah.
Okay.
Mad respect,
Thank you.
actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know you're a little concerned down there. Okay, so I don't know why. Like the story itself isn't like super rich or complex or like deep, but it is just gnarly. It is the grossest thing that I've ever read, and in a weird way, that was enjoyable. Like I don't know. Like I've talked to a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I've mentioned it on videos that it's one of my favorites. And every time that I do that, people are like, "You're disgusting. You're weird."
No.
And I'm like,
what?
Sorry.
That's wild. Okay, maybe it's because I think that
I mean, it's like super gory, right? It's like very graphic
it's
with
the
all the
grossest thing I've ever read.
Yeah.
I mean, David, think like Hunger Games, but like.
Wait, we watched
like,
the live action.
on 10,
I mean,
dude.
that was
I saw the live action in theaters. I think Jennifer Lawrence was in it.
No, wrong one, Kenny. Yeah, that's not.
Oh, right.
He made it so earlier.
Think Hunger Games meets like fucking Lord of the Flies, you know, like
It's on
but
steroids.
even on but up it to like a 10 beyond that, you know.
Yeah.
It's I mean I would consider it to a degree a classic at this point. It's just old enough that like people would
Kind of
definitely
like a
put it in
cult
that
classic.
category. Yeah, and honestly, I have no critique of Berserk and Vinland. I hate it. I was gonna try to roast you about it, but those are literally two of the best manga of all time.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah,
there's like no question in my mind. It's kind of like fuck. She's right. You know.
I have a weird question. Do you think that they jump out of a bus in Fortnite because the beginning of Battle Royale they're on a bus?
No, there's no way.
That would be a very
no
weird
reference,
connection.
Kenny.
Wait, I need us to figure that out.
Wait. Kenny might be on
That
something.
sleuth's out there, okay? Get in the comments. Tell me if the creators of Fortnite have said they jump out of a bus because obviously a battle royale starts on a bus.
Not literally, but that's weird. That'd be batshit if that was a reference. That would be.
I
Honestly
would play
pretty crazy.
Fortnite if that was true.
Yeah, I
If
would
that's
go
true,
back.
I'll be a Fortnite fan.
You know what? I'm gonna mess around and play the game.
We'll play the game, yep.
So HVL, do you think that? Okay, so two of those three. You know, obviously Vinland Saga has one of the best anime adaptations of all time, in my opinion. But the other two, do you think that we'll ever get a successful, complete adaptation of either Berserk or Battle Royale at any point? I don't know. I always wished for a Battle Royale anime, but it's just never come to fruition.
Honestly,
there's the live action, but
honestly, I don't think there's much hope for Battle Royale. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think it's old. It's so old, and there hasn't been any other rendition out recently, like to try to recover it. I don't think that's the case for Battle Royale. But for Berserk, I would literally give all of my savings and life earnings for there to be a good anime adaptation for Berserk. I think there's potentially hope for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'll also be interesting because with Miura's passing, it's kind of like it would have been cool to see him kind of direct and lead the anime because obviously he's the writer. But with his passing, I mean, I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, he was, I don't know if you know this, HBL, but he was involved in the creation of the 97 anime, the original anime that was made. Miura actually helped with the rescripting and some of the adjustments they made. Yeah. So he actually served on the staff for that series. He did not help very much with the Millipanese Light and Films 2016 Berserk. That one he was a little less involved.
I don't think that was what I'm saying.
Unfortunately, He didn't help with that one. But the original, yeah. So what's really weird, if viewers at home have seen the original and read the manga, they know that a pretty significant character, Puck, is completely removed from the original series. So I'm not sure why Miura made that decision or why him and the anime staff came to that decision, maybe to darken the series up. But it feels like, if you've read the manga, you feel like, Puck is an integral component to Guts' humanity, in my opinion. So, I don't know why you would cut that, but Miura or someone, maybe it was against Miura's will, and he just, who knows. But I am curious that if we ever got an adaptation, what that would look like. My dream would be that Wit Studio, the company that did Vinland Saga, would do a Berserk adaptation. That's my personal wish, but
dude,
I'm gonna let's speak that into existence. That's all I'll say.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Miura served on another anime. He worked on one. I think it's called. I think it's called Vampire Night. Have you guys ever heard of that one? Vampire Night? Welcome to the Vampire Night podcast, guys, where we talk about Vampire Night every week, no matter what, without fail. We love Zero.
Kenny, dude, you're fired. You're off the podcast.
It's the Vampire Night podcast, baby.
Even when you see it coming, it's so good.
I knew it was coming. I was like, Miura didn't work on anything else, Kenny.
He worked on Vampire Night. You didn't know?
You sick bastard.
No, that's
fantastic.
That's news to me.
Yeah. He worked on Vampire Night.
We're an educational podcast,
We talk about Vampire Night and Vampire Night accessories.
Oh my god. Okay. Fuck.
Oh my god.
Okay, HVL, beautiful top
three anime. Yeah.
I have to say, gorgeous choice of top. Honestly, I don't know if anyone has had a better top 3 than that. And I say that wholeheartedly. People might flame you for Battle Royale, but I think that is a genuine and a choice that I think there's merit to it. So I'll give you props for it. I think it's a good manga, but that's just me.
I do too.
Battle Royale gave birth to the whole Battle Royale genre
game.
Right? Yeah, it was the first.
People have claimed Hunger Games legit
ripped off of.
Yeah, there were some claims that that's what happened, but
I actually heard.
What's the lady that, or was it a lady? Yeah, the lady that wrote Hunger Games. She's like, I never even heard of Battle Royale. That's weird.
Come on,
I never heard of that one. And I was like, you foolish, Suzanne.
Come on.
Okay, anime HBL. What are your top? So, shifting gears a little bit. Obviously, great choices there, but anime. What are your favorite anime series?
Yeah. So, just right off the bat, I don't watch a whole ton of anime. I know I said that already, but I just don't. I've always been the person that preferred to read stuff, but my number one is Dororo.
Dororo.
Oh, Dororo.
You guys have heard of that?
No,
it's
Dororo.
the guy with,
Dororo. Oh, okay.
Is it Dororo?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. It's the guy with the swords as arms and whatever the heck.
Yeah.
I really liked that. I thought it was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to get the manga for it, but it's that chunky, thick thing.
Yeah.
And it looks so gross. I can't.
Yeah, the physical pub on that was not great. It's mainly because it's an old Tezuka work, and that's a lot of his works have really not. I just picked up Ayako the other day, which is another one of his works. They just stick them in a massive omnibus and just let it be. They haven't really done much respect to them in the U.S. and mainly because despite him being the master, the godfather of all manga, they just they don't he doesn't sell well, so a lot of these companies are hesitant to
not even hardcover
publish anything. I mean, even Astro Boy got fucking stuck in a
the Shaman King omnibuses.
Yeah, they're looking like Astro Boy out here looking like this. I'm about to
Shaman King omnibuses.
Oh, they're so bad.
So bad.
I hate them.
I hate them. Oh, I could talk forever about the Shaman King omnibuses. They are disgusting.
Yeah, I think we have the exact same number of singles, right? How many singles of Shaman King do you have?
I have 1 through 13 and then 16 and 17.
Okay, so I have 14 and 15 too, but I have 1 through 17 of the singles. I was
about to say, flex a little bit.
No, I flex a little bit. No big deal.
Flex a little bit.
Hey, I just got 2 more. Whatever.
I have 1 through 17.
We both had 1 through 17. I didn't realize she was missing some, guys. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm like, come on now. But that's funny because I feel like around 17 is when the price of them start to climb. 18 plus is when it's hard to find them for less than 30, 40, 100. I mean, some of them people try to sell for 100 plus, and I'm like, I got priced out, honestly. So
yeah,
okay.
I know, I get it.
So Dororo is one of your top.
Yes.
Okay.
One of my other tops. I mean, we talked about it. Vinland Saga. I thought the adaptation was so good, and I'm unbelievably hyped for the second season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't even think we
Same.
talked about season 2 on the podcast. So those of you who are unaware, because I don't think we've talked about it on here, Vinland Saga
we
season
didn't.
2 got an official announcement recently, very recently, that they said they're going to be producing
I'm
the
so
second season,
excited.
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
The exact same team too.
yeah, that's exciting.
It's so good.
Did you wait?
And
Which
my-
one did you do first? Anime or Vinland Saga? Were you a manga reader first, then you went and watched the anime, or did you
Yeah,
do
I
the other
read
way
the
around?
manga first.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm curious, and you
And I
still
thought-
love the anime. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yep.
good to know.
And my third, this one I'm not completely through. The Great Pretender.
Oh yeah.
I
love
love
that
Great
one.
Pretender.
It's really good.
It's so
Yeah.
good. It
I
was
love
like
it.
I watched it, and honestly, in the beginning, I was it took me a minute to get used to the animation style,
Mm-hmm.
but they just did such a good job. The colors and everything is so pretty, and it's just, I thought it was really good.
Yes,
How far are
absolutely.
you in it? How far?
Yeah, what part did you stop off at?
I don't want to spoil
Uh,
anything.
I'm trying to remember. Honestly, it's been a while since I've gotten back to it.
Okay.
How many seasons
It's like broken up.
are
It's like
there?
broken up
There
into
are 4 cases.
right. It's like broken up into
Four
parts,
cases.
and you have to. Yeah, it's like there's like part
Yeah.
1, part 2, part 3, part
Yes.
4, and they
I
released
honestly
it in
might be on the-
batches.
I might be in the last one.
Okay.
I think
Wizard of
I'm
the
on the
Far
last
East.
one.
Yeah, the Wizard of
Yes.
Far East.
Yeah.
That's the
Yes.
that's honestly that one is one of my favorites
That's
from
the-
the whole show.
Yep.
Yeah, so when you get
Okay.
back into it, marathon the whole last part because it's
Yeah.
the last case is probably the best case of the show in my opinion.
I'm a
Yeah.
big Edamame Abby shipper, so
yeah. yeah.
I'm a big. I ship them for sure. 100%.
You wrong for that, bro. You wrong for that.
No, okay. They love each other. Okay.
I respect it though. I mean, I respect it. That's a good choice though, HBO, because
Yeah.
you know, Great Pretender is a less than a year old original anime, so you know, it's a very new age, very modern when it comes to adaptation.
There is a, I don't know if you guys have read it or picked it up, but there's a manga for it. Now,
Oh, yeah,
I haven't read
I
it.
have it.
David bought it, I think. Yeah.
is it good?
I like it. It's weird because they like switched up the designs. Like Abby has like very long hair, which
Oh.
was like not her design in the anime. So it's just
No.
kind of weird. So
Huh.
Very
that
strange,
like
very
you know
strange.
that made my head tilt. But I mean,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I'll keep picking it up just because I like the anime so much. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's
I
one of
will
those
say-
unique ones. Oh, you go.
Any like anime to manga adaptation, I'm always so hesitant of.
Yeah, like Cowboy
I agree.
Bebop's manga
Yeah.
is like
Booty.
Oh.
kind of booty from what
Yeah,
I've
I
heard.
wouldn't do it. I mean, I would say like FLCL. What else? FLCL, Cowboy Bebop.
I have all of Penguin Drum.
Um,
I haven't read it, but that was originally an anime.
Originally an anime. Yeah. I mean,
So,
anytime it starts as an anime and gets adapted into a manga, I feel like it's often a little bit of a. I mean, it's just more of a marketing tool, if anything else.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like
yeah.
they just want you to go watch the anime, so they just publish it out. But damn, okay,
Yeah.
this was pretty solid. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed
Those were
by
all
your.
good.
I'm impressed by the diversity of your choices
Thank
for
you.
someone who doesn't really watch anime. That's what I would say. You know,
Yeah.
for someone
I
who's not as
appreciate it.
much into the anime side of things. Because obviously, you know, the boys and I, we read a ton of manga and watch a lot of anime. So we're kind of on both sides of the house. And I think that sometimes I'm curious. You know, when we had Boogie on and talking to Chase does watch a lot of anime, or he used to. He doesn't as much anymore. And then Boogie's the same as you. Like, he really doesn't mess with anime as much at all. He pretty much just reads manga. So it's always interesting to see where those choices overlap when you guys come on and talk it up with us. So,
Yeah.
David, Kenny, what are you guys thinking?
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. I
I have questions, but
I'm thinking about-
whatever.
I think I'm thinking about Zero, man. I don't know. I just.
Kenny, you are.
I'm lost in
Just
that
bring out the
silver
book
hair.
real quick. Let me just bring out the book real quick.
Oh, I
No,
forget.
no.
David takes notes before.
No, don't.
He
Okay,
doesn't know
HVL,
that.
the one thing I want to ask is
Yeah.
and I've asked this a lot of our podcast guests. What is your origin story with anime and manga? You know, what is the HVL origin story? How'd you get into it? Why'd you get into it? When'd you
Yeah.
get into it? You know, did you fall in and out of love? You know, tell us the story.
Yeah. Well, it all began when I was a little girl. Okay. So mine started probably a while ago. Well, obviously a while ago. I have one older brother, and you
Oh,
know,
okay.
I did whatever he did.
Mm.
And he watched Pokemon as a kid. And so then I did as well. And honestly, like, at the time,
Mhm.
did not know it was, an anime. I don't even think my parents did. Like, Pokemon was just so highly regarded and well known that this kind of a thing that you did. So I watched Pokemon as a kid, and that's kind of, where it was for a while. And then growing up, elementary school, middle school, high school, didn't really hear anything about anime, like literally anything, which is interesting, I guess. But I guess also not, because I think anime and manga has become so much more mainstream now.
Oh, absolutely.
But it was the summer before I was a freshman at university, and I was bored. I think that's where we all start. I was bored. And I don't even know how, but I found Attack on Titan. And this is so embarrassing because I started watching it and I dropped it. And I dropped it because I was scared of the Titans. They freaked me out.
Okay, wait, that is embarrassing.
They do be looking freaky, though. They look a little freaky.
No, pretty creepy.
And now I'm sitting here reading Battle Royale. I'm like, who was that person? I don't know who that is. I'm ashamed of her.
So far, it comes so far.
Yeah, you've come so far.
Your maturity.
You're essentially a seinen. You're essentially a seinen manga collector at this point. Like that's like your main thing. Yeah. So it's like funny that Shonen Attack was too far for you.
So okay, I dropped it, and honestly, I haven't gotten back to it since.
Oh wow, okay.
Well, let me tell you, Attack on Titan is not good, so you shouldn't go back to it.
It's fine.
It's good.
Kenny
I've been saying it forever.
Kenny says it on the damn podcast.
The artist cannot draw. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay,
the manga kind of looks like butt. Okay, I'll say that. His Isayama's art isn't the best, but the anime. Like,
I know
we've talked about it on here a lot. Like the anime adaptation of Attack on Titan is just like it gave it life. Like like, what was the like Jujutsu Kaisen? Like the manga for Jujutsu is like good, but the anime just like brings it up 10
like
more levels.
Demon Slayer, I'd argue too.
Exactly. That's a better
Demon
example,
Slayer
actually.
is like I always
example.
say Demon Slayer is like the modern Attack on Titan because like
Yep.
to me Demon Slayer when it was just a manga was a failing manga. It was a series
It
that
was.
was on its way out the door, and then it's like animated, and all of a sudden it becomes arguably the most influential manga of the modern era. I mean, manga and anime series of the 2020s or whatever you want to call it. And Titan was the same way. To me as a manga, it really was not doing much. Wasn't really making much ground. But the moment the Wit Studio first season of that anime came out, it became an international hit, and it was because the anime really enlivened what the author was putting on the page. It took the story and elevated it. And I think that Demon Slayer did the same thing. But that's funny that you dropped the anime still. It's just funny to me because I'm like, damn it, HVL.
He's afraid of them big naked guys. I get it, okay?
Oh my gosh, I'm ashamed. That's all I'm gonna say. I will say I do want to get back into the anime.
Okay.
People have asked me all the time if I'm gonna read the manga, and part of me does. But the English release of the manga, all of the formats are booty cheeks. They're so gross.
Yeah, I agree.
English spines, bad. The colossal editions.
Can we just
bad.
all agree that Kodansha fucking sucks?
Yeah,
They
just
did right on Vinland though. They did.
I
Right on
did.
Vinland.
But Tokyo Revengers.
But everything else, bad.
They're never releasing Tokyo.
They're never. I think that if you want to read Titan, the only English release I would use is the single releases.
Yeah,
I mean,
the box set.
It's just about all you've got in my opinion right now because the colossal editions are kind of booty. There was one other edition. Oh, they're doing a new omnibus 3-in-1. Those I don't even know why they're doing those. Those are going to sit on shelves. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, most people who watch the anime pick up the manga like, what this isn't the same thing.
Whatever. Okay, so that's your origin story. So Titan was the start of it all, huh?
Well, kinda. So then, another year passed, and at this point, it was after my freshman year of college, and quarantine hit. And I think this is the origin, like the true origin story for a ton of people. I was, doing the thing, scrolling Netflix, like, well, what am I gonna watch today? And Avatar popped up. Avatar, so good. Avatar is a banger, dude. Like, loved Avatar.
Yeah, David, I heard it was really good, man.
Yeah, I loved episode
Yeah,
one.
David, I heard you were a big Avatar: The Last Airbender fan,
Yeah,
bud.
I loved episode one. It's my favorite episode.
Yeah, yeah, it's your
Did
favorite
you?
episode. He's never
Yeah.
watched it. He's never watched it.
You seen episode 1?
Let's see episode
That
one.
hurts me a little bit.
We've roasted him for it.
You literally have
It's
Oh,
on my
good.
list. I'll watch it eventually. You know,
Yeah.
depending on
fair.
how things happen with the podcast. You know, we might talk to some people, and so I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to watch it eventually. So
Yeah, he's right. Okay, so you
Yeah.
jumped into Avatar. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Quarantine hit?
Jumped into Avatar, and then it was like, okay, what else can I watch that's like this? And then I found the first anime that I would argue that I really watched and really was invested in was The Promised Neverland.
Rest in
That
peace.
first season.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, sorry.
That's the only one they released, right? Yeah, they
Yeah,
just
they
had the
did.
one.
Yeah.
It's weird.
They
They
said
made one
the
season.
They made
cancel it
one
after that.
season, yeah. It
One
sucks,
season.
you know. I go ahead and read the
Oh.
manga though, guys. You know,
The second season
doesn't exist.
Doesn't
No,
like,
it's shit.
No.
It's
Yeah.
so bad.
Bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
how can you?
They
How can you?
did-
Yeah. How can you remove
They
the
did my
best
voice
art?
so dirty.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, HVL, did you read the manga Promised Neverland, or did you?
Oh, come on now. You know I'm up to date.
Okay.
Got it
Okay. I assumed
complete.
you did.
She's
Okay.
got all 20.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
making
yeah.
sure. So
Come
yeah,
on now.
so I was an anime only, and I watched the whole second season without reading the manga. I was like, I'm just gonna watch it and see how I feel. And even as an anime only, I was destroyed. I was like, this is the worst ruining I've ever experienced of something I love. Like, I was so upset. We even did a whole
It's so
podcast
bad.
episode where we talked about, where I specifically said that I felt like The Promised Neverland was like a modern day Death Note. Like, it was the next psychological thriller to come out of Shonen Jump that was going to be a massive hit. And I talked about how season 2 was going to elevate it. I was so hyped. Season 2 it, and I was like, well, fuck all that shit. I was like, we're done, boys. I was like, wrap it up.
Yeah,
Promised Neverland's
I
fucked,
literally,
bro.
I literally was like, how did you do it so bad? Like,
Yeah.
you almost had to try,
Yeah.
you know?
I'm
Like,
so
sad.
there's like so many theories too. It's just like, but yeah, at the end of the day, like they did the worst thing that they could do with
They
that
fucked it.
anime. They
Literally.
fucked it so bad.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched The Promised Neverland, watched the first season, and I was like, okay, the first season ends on such a cliffhanger. Like, it's like, what's going on with Norman? They just escaped. What's in the outside world? You know, it ends on such a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need the next season. Realized, 1, no, you don't. 2, it wasn't coming out for a couple months.
Right.
So I did research, and then I discovered that manga was a thing. Literally had no idea what manga was. I was like nerdy, but I was like
Right.
Marvel nerdy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So like
Mm.
I didn't know what manga was, which is
Mhm.
surprising. But
Mm-hmm.
then I went to like class the next day, and I was talking to my friends about it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, manga." She's like, "I have like all that's released of Haikyuu." I'm like, "What?" So literally after class, she brought me to Barnes and Noble, and just something clicked. Something just absolutely unlocked, and the sheer amount of money that I spent that first day, astronomical.
No.
I bought like as much of The Promised Neverland as I could. I bought not all of, I think most of Death Note and the Black editions, like Naruto singles, like just I bought so much stuff just because I was so excited, and the rest is
That's crazy.
History.
I know that
Yeah.
feeling. I know that
Yeah.
feeling so well.
Yeah, I've
Hey,
never
wait.
yeah.
I've never
can I-
brought a friend to Barnes Noble and like watched him dive headfirst into manga before. That's never happened to me in my entire
Never
life.
ever
Oh,
happened.
really?
It's crazy.
What is
Yeah,
the,
Yeah.
I've never done.
Okay,
that.
let me ask you, because I think we need to start talking about this with manga people. David has an enormous hand, okay, and he stops buying whenever he has filled up his hand, but he can hold 12 volumes in one hand.
That's his gauge. He
Hashtag
he
manga
won't-
hand.
He won't check out. Like if he goes over his hand, he has to check out. Like if he can't fit in his hand.
Then he's not
I
allowed to get it.
respect that.
Yeah.
Well, you respect it if it's not 12 volumes.
Yeah. The issue is that he can fit 12 in his hand.
But the thing is that I can't judge because I
Right.
just had 120 plus volume month
know.
last month.
I saw
I
that.
can't
too,
judge.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all saw that.
Okay, but
Yeah.
let me ask you, HVL, How many manga do you think you can fit in one hand?
Yeah, how many do you think if you
What's your manga hand? What's your manga hand?
We judge. Okay, we take it.
try.
We
Yeah,
actually
try
use.
it.
Do you have Naruto volumes?
Oh yeah, do you have any Naruto by you?
That's the
Judge
gauge.
by Naruto volumes.
It has,
Naruto is the gauge.
it has to be Naruto volumes.
It has to be okay.
Fit?
How
How
many
many
can
can
you
you
fit?
fit? And the main
Well, we're gonna see.
And the main thing
I
is that you have
currently,
to be able
have
to
8.
you have to be able to turn it upside down
Upside
without
down.
dropping it.
Upside down, because he walks around like
Okay,
this.
okay. So
Eight?
the
The answer is,
8?
I think. Oh, let's try 9. Come
Let's
on.
Let's try 9. Let's try 9.
Let's try
You
9.
gotta try 9.
Wait, if you can get
Come
9,
on.
I think you beat Kenny.
I think
No,
Kenny's,
I can hold 9. I can hold
I
9.
think
I
Kenny's
have
max
big
was 9.
hands.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna lie. I have big
Okay.
hands. I
That,
can
that
call
helps with the
basketball.
manga. That helps with the manga.
Okay.
Okay, here you go. Here you go.
Oh,
Oh,
nine!
that's it. That's
Oh,
9. Now,
shit!
That's
you
impressive.
think you can
She's
I
got a
can't
9
do that.
manga hand.
Yeah.
10 is off. 10 is off. 10 is off.
10
That's
is
it.
out. I'm at my limit with 9.
I'm
Now,
okay with that.
That's
imagine
insane.
fitting 3 more of those in your hand.
David can fit 3 more than that in his hand.
He can fit 3
That's a
more
lot.
than that.
That you have a large hand, my
HVL,
friend.
I just want to
That's
say,
big
I
hand.
just want to say that my collection doubled in July, and
Yeah.
August is a no manga month for David.
He is,
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
he's on
And how is
a
it
manga
going?
fast.
How is it going?
I'm having withdrawals.
I had no manga May and I failed. Okay.
Well, so far it is the 9th day of August, and I haven't spent any money on manga since July
Yeah.
31st. So
He has
so
received
proud.
some manga though that he
Yeah,
had
some
previously
orders he
ordered.
placed in
Get
July.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
I
I
did.
get that.
Yeah.
I strategically in April bought manga at the end of the month, so I still got manga in May.
That's smart though. That's actually very smart.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that works. David has had
You
like
gotta
literally
get that
like
whole ad revenue. Okay, come on. Now.
That-
That's
using-
absolutely yeah.
Yeah.
You need to be doing that. That's what's up.
Yep.
No, for
Yep.
David, he literally like the day after he started, he was like scratching. He was like having a cocaine withdrawal. Like, he was like, Jerry, I need to get. He was like, I got Right Stuff open on my computer. I'm gonna press order, dude. I'm gonna do it. And I was like, David,
Yep.
don't do it, man. Hold yourself back, bro. Like,
It's
don't,
like Chase,
don't
Jerry, you
let-
guys going to Barnes? Let me know. I just want to look.
honestly-
And I went hunting, and David was like, "Oh shit!" He was like, "Maybe I need to come with you guys." And I was like, "No, David,
Okay.
stay home."
I give you props though for knowing Right Stuff right away, because I bought everything for retail, and I probably had like 100 volumes in like a month purchase for
Whoa.
retail.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ! Did you even have like a Barnes and Noble membership
Yeah.
at least, or like a?
So I will say, I like went to the counter one day,
Uh-huh.
literally so much manga, and they have a rule where it's like if you spend over $100, you get a membership for free.
Oh, really?
And
Oh.
Yeah, I think there's something of that nature.
That's
And
probably
the guy
right.
was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give this to you. He's like, I think you'll need it. And I'm like, you're probably right. So here we are.
Yes. Yeah, I must say,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that makes
Use it
sense.
all the time.
I must say, I've had my Barnes and Noble
Time.
membership forever, dude. That's like a necessity at this point.
It is.
Yeah. But that's crazy. That's a great I've said this a couple times because I just think it's so interesting because, Kenny and I, we come from the generation where like we've been watching anime and reading manga since we were, 2 years old, 3 years old, like as long as we can remember. And, so being a part of the community for as long as we have, it's been so interesting because in the last year or two, the number of new fans and new newly
Crazy.
ingested members of this community, and I think there's a lot of people, and I'll be upfront, I think there's a lot of people in this community that are shitheads and they like to what's the word, gatekeep anime
what's-
manga.
yeah.
They like to pretend like it's yes, sure, I've been reading manga and anime since I was 12 years old, you shit
Are you
bastards.
British?
There's
Wait,
this-
what was that accent?
I don't know, that's what I imagined. Anime gatekeepers,
Was that
like,
Cockney?
no.
Like what?
That's a gatekeeping accent.
Yeah, that's. I'm pretty sure that's the accent.
Gatekeeping
we-
accent.
Yeah, that's. The,
Oh,
but,
okay.
I think it's so funny because for me, it's been it's like a renaissance. It's like I have had more friends and more people, more opportunities to talk to and get so much more perspective on series that, prior to 2 years ago, if anyone talked shit on Yu Yu Hakusho or on Dragon Ball Z, it was like a heresy, in the community.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, these were series that were untouchables. They were series that were beyond. So like, us in the community, we just accepted that's the way it was. So it's so interesting to me having new people come in that have new perspectives who are reading I I mean, when I saw like, I have to ask, HBL, have you read or watched Dragon Ball Z all the way through? Is that a no? Oh, okay. See,
Oh!
crazy. I watched a freaking YouTube video. Some guy was like, what's his name? Captain Ryan. You know?
Rainen. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but his video
I don't
pops
either.
up in my suggested all the time. And maybe I'll ask him to come on here one day. But it blew my mind because I watched this little video and I was like, how the hell did this man not watch or read? I was so concerned and confused because for me, I always thought that Dragon Ball Z was just a part of the, like growing up where I was, it was part of the culture. So
Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball for me, it's like the reason why I haven't gotten to it yet is because it's one of those things where it's like I feel like if you didn't grow up with it, it doesn't have the same value.
Yeah.
Like it's like I didn't grow up with it, and it's probably really good. It's a classic. It's one of those things where it's like you almost need to read it, and I think I will at some point. But it's just like it hasn't been at the top of my list because it's like I'll get to it when I get to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Dragon Ball and
I
Dragon Ball
probably
Z has something that I think that a lot of manga authors sometimes cannot get is Toriyama's panel motion and the way action occurs in his manga is so like on point. You're like, wow, I can see that motion whenever you see a Kamehameha fired or
Oh my
power
gosh.
pole extends.
Yeah.
You're like, I
He's at the
see.
standard for that.
Yeah, exactly. I would say, yeah, exactly. And so after that, you see those tricks that other people use, and you can point to the Toriyama paneling, like, oh, this is whenever Goku fought Frieza. Like, this is what they're using.
Oda uses a lot of the same techniques that Toriyama did, especially with the way that he shapes action upwards and downwards across pages. It's really interesting because he'll do these slanted panels that slant into each other. So if you look at the way, I mean, Oda has admitted anytime he talks, Ichiro Oda, the author of One Piece, anytime he talks, he talks on like Toriyama's his greatest inspiration. Dragon Ball is what One Piece wouldn't exist without Dragon Ball, which is a weird thing to say out loud, but it just wouldn't. One Piece is inspired, and Oda as a whole was very inspired by the design, the work that Toriyama put in. So it's very cool to see some of that ancient. When you go back, I say ancient. If you go back and read Dragon Ball, you'll see some of the things maybe from current manga that you've read, and you'll be like, oh wow, like this is maybe where the techniques or some of the things originated. It's really quite the experience. My wife somehow also did not watch or read Dragon Ball her whole life. She knew of it, tertiary, she had idea of the characters, the general plot outline, blah blah blah, but she finally sat down, she watched the entire Dragon Ball anime during the pandemic, and then has now read up through the Cell Saga of Dragon Ball Z, the manga. So she switched the manga for Z, and she's loved it. And as someone who, she has a huge anime and manga palette, she's also quite, but this is just one that she was missing, and she said that it easily has been as entertaining and as exciting as some of the other modern stuff she's reading. So I think that you would have a blast, HVL, if you finally sit down, give it a shot. Those Viz Bigs, they're pretty sick.
They're pretty nice.
I'm gonna just say it.
Just like the
Let me tell you, people click on Dragon Ball videos too.
HVL, I want to see
on
it.
Dragon Ball.
Where's the thumb? I can see it now. HVL reads Dragon Ball for
Dragon
the
Ball.
first time or something.
Yep.
Hey, it's all coming together.
Totally.
It's all coming together.
Total newbie reads Dragon Ball. No.
Literally though. Yeah.
No, that's
literally.
that'd be
I
awesome.
will say though, okay, this is kind of off topic, but still about Dragon Ball.
No,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so this tattoo that I have, people always see it and they're like, "Is that from Dragon Ball?"
Oh yeah.
No, it's Harry Potter.
It is Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Thank
David,
you.
look at you.
I like Harry Potter.
Thank you. Yes.
Wait,
But
what's
it's
your
always so
house?
funny.
What's your house?
Oh, what's your house?
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw.
Ooh.
David, what's your house?
Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Jerry, what's our house?
Kenny, as much as I wish I wasn't, I've tried so many times to not be a Gryffindor, but I feel like
Gryffindor?
I'm forced into Gryffindor every time. I can't.
You are a narc. You're a narc.
You
bro.
can't escape it.
You're a narc.
I'm like, I want to be anything but a Gryffindor. And it's like every time I try to take a quiz or anything, it's like, no, you're a fucking Gryffindor, bro. Get back in your house, dude. Get
Sorting
back
Hat's
in.
like, no, bitch.
And I'm
you're
like,
in
no.
Gryffindor.
I'm like, I want to be like fucking Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, your boy is a snake.
I am. Kenny, are you a? Yeah, you're.
Oh, I'm Slytherin, bro.
You're a Slytherin boy.
I
could see it.
Nice.
Yeah, I could unfortunately see it.
Yeah.
But that's funny. I didn't know that you were also a big Harry Potter fan, HVL. Is that
Oh yeah, that was like a majority of my childhood.
really?
Yeah.
I
Do you-
have a okay. This is a little bit of a flex. I'm gonna flex
Let's
here.
hear. Let's hear the
Shit.
flex.
Okay, here I go. So I went to. I don't know if you guys know that there's a Universal with like Harry Potter and all the rides and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And there's
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called, but there's that wand shop that's in the movie that you can go in and
Ollivanders.
have Ollivanders. Thank you.
Mhm.
So they always do, every time there's a group that comes in, they do a demonstration with one of the people, and one of the guests like walk through the process like they do in the movies. And I was that guest.
Oh, I was so
I
jealous of
know.
the person that they picked. I went there when I was younger too, and I
Yeah.
didn't get picked, and I'm so salty.
Yeah. And
David.
I literally like I went through the process and I had like my own like wand, and it was like a game changer for me. So
Wow.
there's my
Wow.
flex. Yeah.
That's a big
basically,
flex.
You're
That's a big
basically a
flex.
wizard.
Yeah, you're
basically
I'm a
Hermione.
wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe
wait.
Hermione.
That is me.
Now it makes fucking
Yeah.
sense to me, HVL. I was literally talking the other day about how I was so confused why you liked Mashal, because it's
Yeah.
just it's not good.
It's-
And I just we on the podcast have just
came out so
we
good.
absolutely just we hate
We
Mashal,
don't like
dude. We just
Mashal.
don't like
That's
boo.
fair.
So
No,
like
that's fair.
but I get it now as a Harry Potter fan. It's got to
Oh,
be some
yeah.
sort of it's some sort of
It's a
comfortability.
complete rip-off of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
100%.
It's like Harry
And
Potter
One Punch
plus
Man.
One Punch Man.
Rich man. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um,
See, the thing is like Mashal isn't a manga that I would normally like at
Yeah.
all.
Mm.
Like it's
Mhm.
not what I normally like, but because I love Harry Potter as much as I do, it just all came together.
Yeah, it just clicks.
Everything's
Yeah.
coming together.
Everything's coming together.
Wait,
Yes,
wait. Have you heard of or tried Witch Hat Atelier?
Oh my gosh. I haven't tried it, but I've heard that the art carries it.
Yeah.
And I think
It
if you
is
like Harry
beautiful.
Potter, I think you'll love it.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, it's got that like Disney-esque like magical type of aesthetic to it.
HVL, I don't know if you've heard of this one magic manga. It's called Fairy Tale. It's about this
No!
guy. And he's not.
Mages. I think
about-
that guy eats fire.
I fucking hate Fairy Tale, dude. It's so
They're just
terrible.
Fairy
worse,
Tale's so
bro.
bad.
Fairy
It's
Tale's
so bad. So
It's-
bad.
It's
Someone
got to
has
be one of
Fairy
the
Tail in their
worst.
collection. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, girl, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like, let's have a
exactly.
conversation,
You're like-
please.
Like, I'm not trying to
I
gatekeep,
hate
but
it. I hate Fairy Tale.
I see that fairy tale on your shelf. Although
God.
I have Eden Zero on my shelf, so
I
Oh.
feel like
Sick bastard, David.
I feel like
only
one of the
only the
biggest-
first volume. Only the first volume. Only the first.
Oh my
I feel like
God.
one of the biggest manga tattoos that people have too is the fucking fairy tale.
stupid
symbol.
the
Yes.
Maze Guild. Yeah,
Yes,
Haven't
it's
seen that.
Oh, really?
You see it,
Oh.
I see it so much.
the English voice actor that plays Natsu has it tattooed on him. What's his name? Todd Habercorn. He's got a
Oh.
tattoo of it. Yeah. And I think that kind of popularized it. Well, he probably didn't make it popular. I think he just jumped on the trend, but
Well,
he's
it's
also
because-
the voice. I mean,
right.
he has a reason in my mind, but everyone else who did it,
Fair.
they should burn that shit off right now.
Well, it's their
Uh,
favorite
Just burn it
anime,
off.
Jerry. Come on,
Yeah, they
man.
love fairy tale.
Oh, that makes me so angry. It
Fairy
makes me so
tales are
angry.
worse.
It makes me so. I'm not even angry. It makes me so sad to know that
Disappointed.
someone's.
That's debatable. I'm not angry. Come on now.
It makes me so
Oh,
frustrated that someone's palette is so limited that they're like, yeah, Fairy Tale's my favorite anime and manga I've ever read or watched. You know, I'm like,
Exactly. I would say that the every time I hear that, it sounds exactly like that.
It
So
burns.
you-
It burns to hear, guys. Whatever. I'm happy you didn't read Fairy
Yeah.
Tale and like it. As a Harry Potter fan, I'm happy Fairy Tale didn't win you over.
Didn't they mess you up.
That's good. That's fantastic. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Whew, we've gone on a streak.
That was
here.
like
David,
a lot of
David.
Like, it was like therapy session almost.
Yeah, just like letting it all just come
kind of
out.
what we do
Just
around here,
letting
you
it
know.
out.
We kind of
Oh,
just
no.
come around to.
Yep.
So, David, did you have a question? For
I did.
Miss
So this
HVL?
is just a personal, just out of curiosity, fellow manga collector to another
Personal?
fellow
Oh,
manga
okay.
collector.
I thought you were gonna be
Um,
like,
Alright.
yeah. So what's your social security
What's
number?
your-
and-
Yeah,
No.
When I was younger, I just didn't have any friends. So like, what did you do to get friends? No.
No. Oh my
So-
God, David.
But no. So something that I've seen like in your videos, and I think I've seen a lot of other manga collectors talk about this too, like selling back their manga. So like getting, getting a few series and like having for a bit and like not liking it and then like selling it. And I don't know if I'm the weird one, because if I buy it, it's in my collection forever, no matter how awful it is. And so what's kind of like what do you take into account when it comes to like getting rid of books from your collection?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Thank you.
It's funny because
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on,
Pretty
HBO.
I actually just even today dropped off a ton of manga that I sold. Not a ton. It was like, it was maybe like 20-ish volumes. But
like to like half price or?
No. So I sell primarily on Mercari.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I use like Mercari and eBay to sell it. That's a really good question, because I think to me, in my opinion, I think it's important to sell series that you don't like. And my reason behind that is because I think through selling the series that I don't like, my collection just becomes even more personalized and even more something that I just absolutely love. So, I mean, what goes into account, honestly, I kind of have this rule. If I buy a manga series or a manga and I don't get to it or get back to it within a couple months, I have to sell it, because honestly, I probably won't go back to it. So like an example of that was, what did I sell recently?
What did you just sell? Now I'm curious. Like, what did you just drop off?
So I sold The Drifting Classroom, the hardcover omnibuses. I sold Blue Flag. The ending made me want to burn the series.
Yeah, I've heard.
Everyone tells me that. I'm like halfway through it, and I'm like,
I have intentionally avoided it.
It's so good.
No.
That was my problem, because that was hard for me to sell, honestly, because I genuinely enjoyed the story, but the ending made it so bad. I don't know why. I might be a little over dramatic, but it was so bad. So I
bad
sold
enough
Blue
for you to
Flag.
sell it, so obviously, shit.
I
mean, that's fuck.
Yeah. I also sold Soul Leveling, the graphic novel, just because I prefer the light novels for that, and I could read the graphic novel online, so it's kind of like
on Webtoons,
whatever. You're right. And I also sold. This is kind of just random. I had I want to collect Toriko eventually, but I had just random late volumes that I'm kind of like, I'm just probably gonna get them in a lot later on. I just kind of sold them.
That's the move.
Yeah, but so again, if I don't go back to it, because honestly, I have such a large backlog already, I'm not gonna lie, my backlog's pretty big. So, and it's just like I have other stuff that I would rather read, and it's also one of those things where it's like I could always rebuy, you know?
That's true.
Like if push comes to shove, I can get Blue Flag again, which I won't, but I could get it again. You know what I mean?
If you wanted to, yeah.
If I wanted to, right.
Yeah.
Another reason, I don't know. It's just kind of like, if I read a series and it's just okay, like I really just try to keep series in my collection that I genuinely loved. And I try to be really intentional about it, because honestly, the manga that I sell goes into manga that I really like. So just kind of like my collection in a way kind of self-fulfills itself, if that makes sense. Yeah. Which I think is a good way to go, because people can spend so much money on manga, and I've been guilty of that, but
same.
Same.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. It is, and it's dangerous. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that answered your question.
That's what's up.
Great answer. Yeah, because again, I think I'm just weird because when I first got into collecting, I bought like 4 months ago. I got I got all of Black Lagoon, and because Black Lagoon is one of my favorite anime. It's like a super gritty. It's like basically like a gritty Cowboy Bebop, I guess.
Yeah.
I've been told to get that.
Watched it? Yeah.
Yes.
Imagine like a badass female protagonist, mercenary badass
I probably
woman.
would.
Yeah. Like all the women in the story are like purposefully like just badass, and all the guys are like little bitches.
We
Like
love a badass.
I love it. I love it so much.
Revi is loved by all men and women around. That's all I'll say. It's like if you read it, Revi is like she's a queen.
Yeah, she's the main character. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And so I got that, and that just opened the floodgates to like everything I have, and I've gotten like some some nasty man stuff, some just bad stuff like Eating Zero, and it's all just still in my collection. So I'm like also like playing around with like, should I get rid of it? But I also just, I don't know. I think I'm so focused on like the volume count of like, hey, look at all of these books I got, which I know a lot of collectors are like that too. So that's just how I am.
I totally get that, because I think especially when I started, I saw people online with like hundreds, thousands of manga, and I'm like, oh, that's like, I want that to be me. Like, that's gonna be me. So then I just go out and buy a shit ton of manga, and they're not saying that that's necessarily what you did, but I also think it's like everyone collects differently, and I think people forget that. Yeah. Like, everyone collects manga in their own way, and what you have in your collection, that's fine. That's
That's what's so fun about it.
Do you, man?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
There shouldn't be judgment. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no rules. Just do whatever.
There's no rules. Just do whatever.
Yeah. No rules. Just do whatever.
Yeah, I remember when I first started collecting Funko Pops, and I made a fatal mistake. That's why. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
How many, Jerry? How many's in your collection? I love asking you every time.
Okay, so as of today, I have a little over 1,200 Funko Pops. But you have to remember that I'm constantly selling as well, just like HVL said.
HVL space.
I just offloaded a couple hundred over the last 4 or 5 months. So I was probably closing in on 1,500, and I had to get rid of some because they were just immeasurable. So I'm at the point where I'm about to downsize again. I have to get rid of a couple, at least a little more, because 1,200 is already just pushing it out of this room. But I love what I do. I love collecting Funko Pops. I also have a pretty good sized manga collection, but it's in another room. But I've had the collector bug my whole life, and I think that I've just always been in the mood. Ever since I was little, I collected. I always tell the story, but like my very first collectible was Kenny. You probably remember these. We would buy these
X-Men figurines,
$1 X-Men figures from the dollar store. They were like die-cast metal, and we would line them up all over our windowsill. Kenny and I would have just
all the X-Men,
all the characters you could find, because you'd go to all the dollar stores and get these little die-cast metal X-Men figurines. And I have manga from when Kenny and I were younger that I still have kept with me. I've sold at some point when I went to college, I sold a bunch of it, and Kenny and I just kind of abandoned a lot of it, but I kept a couple, probably 30 or 40 volumes that are still with me to this day, including, I found out the other day, I have a volume of Afro Samurai that goes for like over $100. Yeah. I was like, it's just something that Kenny and I bought many, many years ago, and we just I never wanted to get rid of it, so I've just always had it. Yeah, Kenny?
We used to go into Borders, and there were
fucking Borders, bro.
3 boys plus our sister Steph. Yeah, well, we have more siblings, but those were the youngest, and it would be buy 3 get 1 free, so everybody would get one volume of manga.
Yeah, That's really am pissed at myself because when my sister left, she moved away or whatever. She just abandoned all of her manga, and I had like the full collection of like Fushigi Yugi, the full collection of Nana, the full collection of Absolute Boyfriend, like all this stuff. And sometime like 4 or 5 years ago, I like put them all together because I was trying to sell them like online, and no one wanted them. They were, I couldn't even get $10 for them, $20. So I just dropped them all off at half price books because I was like, I don't want these. And now like Nana specifically is one that I am so pissed at myself for getting rid of because
but
as a complete set,
But don't worry because they're reprinting them.
Okay.
And literally them in like Barnes and Nobles and Books A Million.
Fantastic.
They're reprinting
the set.
Oh, that's great.
It went up in the value of the set had gone way up, and I was like, damn, I sold those for literally $100+. So I literally dropped those off at half price books like 4 or 5 years ago and just got like $3 for them.
No.
HVL, how do you feel? This is random. How do you feel about going on Mercari and then looking at the listings and then seeing volumes 1 through 6 of Chainsaw Man for $300? How do you feel about that?
This is a good change of subject. Let's talk about that.
How do you feel about it? Does it just grind your gears? Because
scalping.
It grinds my gears.
Okay. This is my perspective. If you buy something like that, like, part of me, this is like, I'm trying to put together my thoughts because
He's about to roast people.
Part of me says, you shouldn't be posting that like for that amount of money. But also part of me says, get that bag. If someone's stupid enough to buy it,
honestly,
get that bag.
Yeah.
Get that bag. Like, come on. Like, I think in that, when people buy that for that price, it's like either one, you just don't know that it's coming back in stock, which is fair. Yeah. Like, that's a very valid point. Or two, you're just impatient. And it's like, to an extent, I can understand, but it's also like, if you're fine, you know what?
Yeah.
Whatever.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah,
like
who wants to spend, like, what's wrong with spending quadruple the price on a manga that'll come back in stock in a month or two, right?
Well, literally. I told you, David, I told you, Chainsaw Man Volume 1, I got 70 of them in my closet, dude. I'll sell it to you for $35 right now, bro. It's all yours.
I just love looking like,
bro, I got you, fam.
Like on a Manga Swap or Mercari of just like listings, and it's like a stack of like 30 Chainsaw Man Volume 1s.
Literally. Yeah. Yes.
It's like you have to be so evil to do that, man.
I know. Yeah. But it's like, again, if you're
hustling
using this, because
it's hustling.
Sometimes they're ignorant. Sometimes they don't know it's coming back in stock, and I can understand that. But if you're stupid enough to buy it, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think that it's crazy because like in the collecting realm of everything, this is a pretty like strong natured, the scalpers bob and weave through communities at max speed. They have no conception of like whether or not this is like a community they don't generally care about the communities they bob and weave out of. And it just cracks me up because like I collect Pokemon cards too, and essentially over the last year and a half, the Funko Pop and Pokemon community have had massive scalping issues, and I watch as it slowly, it used to be back then I could just go, I didn't even think manga, it was like I never imagined that people would even touch my manga, that was like, oh, that's just a book, I can go buy it whenever. But to watch them even bob and weave over to manga, I was like, God damn it. I was like, get the hell out of here, boys. I was like,
I know.
What are y'all doing? But I'm happy that for the most part, there are YouTubers like you that if someone, Googles things or, takes some time, I feel like a lot of YouTubers, a lot of personalities in the community are trying to inform more people, They're using their platforms to help so that way if someone does go sit down, I mean, Prom G made a big video about it. Chase has not done a lot. I want him to sit down and do a serious video, but he has in his collecting tips video he just put out a couple, maybe like a week or two ago. He went over, not buying scalped manga and being patient. And, I keep, I'm happy to see YouTubers and community members sort of avert the newbies because there is, as you noted, HVL, there's a huge influx of newbies that are trying to buy manga and they just don't know. Yeah. They don't know what they're getting, so they're willing to pay $60 on accident for 2 volumes or whatever. But I'm happy that that you guys have used that. So
yeah, I also think like getting into any community, especially when I started getting into the manga community, manga and anime, it's always so intimidating.
Yeah.
You don't know where to start. You're like, there's so much stuff out here. Like you need some direction. So I think that's again why I do appreciate people making videos on that and making like it more aware, because it's, I mean, just like I think back to getting into manga and anime again, and it's like it was just so overwhelming because there's just so much media, so much content. Just trying to absorb all of that is just impossible. So yeah, I mean, even to this day, I'm still learning.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm still very new to all of this. So no, I do appreciate when creators and people just make people aware of that because it's so true.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay! Anti-scalping HVL, everyone. This is the PSA. No, that's fantastic.
So,
okay, Kenny.
I have a question. So were you into comic books, like comics over here, like American comics, prior to getting into manga, or?
You mentioned Marvel earlier. Yeah. So I'm curious too.
Yeah. So I never actually physically collected comics. I always would go to Barnes and Noble and kind of like page through them and do that whole sort of thing. But I never, like when I was younger, I never really had I didn't have the adult money. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I mainly consumed like Marvel stuff through the shows, like Avengers and all that sort of stuff. So I didn't ever like have comics, but I've been exposed to them, if that makes sense.
That's
Right.
interesting.
Yeah. I just thought maybe you know if you were like a comic reader and now you're like moving into manga.
Yeah.
So.
Were you a big
So,
like
I mean-
reader? Because you mentioned Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, did you read
You're a
books?
big Harry.
Like
You're a
actual
booker?
books?
like real books with
Oh,
words.
books?
Oh yeah, I love actual books without words.
Yeah, real
Yes.
real books.
Wait, without words.
pictures.
Wait.
Word. No pictures.
Wait.
No
Without
pictures.
pictures.
Just picture-
That's what I meant. Yes. Yeah, I love reading. I've always loved
Okay.
reading. I think when I was younger, you know, I read the Harry Potters, the Percy Jackson, Lord of the
Oh,
Rings, you know, all that
yes.
sort of stuff. Lord of the Rings is still top media I've ever consumed.
Wow.
But as I got older, I don't know what happened, but I got like more into like historical nonfiction books, which I think of that now and I'm like, ew.
What?
Okay.
Hmm.
Like, I'm staring at my books. I have like a book on the Marshall Plan. I have a book on like Hitler or World War II. I like literally
You should read.
like I should read what?
Oh, you should read history. It's about Eumenes of Scythia, who served next to Alexander the Great. If you're into historical stuff plus manga, that's the history is really good.
Oh, it's a comic book, right,
Huh.
Kenny? That's
Yeah,
the,
it's a manga.
Oh, it's a yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
It
you
is a
should check
manga.
it
What's it
out.
called again?
History, but IE
Spell it.
instead of Y.
Yeah, HISTORE. So like
Yeah.
history, but
Oh,
IE
that's
instead of Y.
Thank you. I'll have to check
Yeah.
that out.
I think that my wife read that one, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
Really good. It's also still running, so
Yeah.
fortunately it's not
Oh.
done.
Are there physicals
Yeah.
of it, Kenny? Or-
I don't know, bro.
I don't think so.
So much
Probably
manga I
not.
read. It's like what? You're like
Kenny likes the yo ho ho.
Kenny's a pirate.
no, whoa.
Yo!
local high-pitch wearing pirate.
Put
You
me
know,
on blast.
Taking
Beer
notes, taking
drinking.
notes.
Yeah, I'm about to say this man down here, he reads more manga than any of us, but
I
doesn't
think
own a
I-
single volume.
I think I have 5 tabs open right now. How many tabs do I have open? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. He comes from that era. You know, there was a time. There was a time, you know, when I felt like most manga weren't being printed in the U.S. So
Not at all.
if you
Yeah.
wanted to read
Yeah.
anything, you had to turn to the fan translations and the scans, and you know that was like such a massive.
Yeah.
What was that? Can
So-
you remember that manga site that was like massive at one point in history, or was it called
Yeah.
like one manga or something?
Yes, it was
was that
huge.
it?
Yeah.
It was huge. It was
Mm.
like the most massive online database.
You
of
could basically find
translated
any manga.
And
Yeah.
finally,
Wow.
like Visin them like got in there and just completely shut it down. And
Yeah.
it was like the apocalypse for manga readers. You know, we were like, "Fuck!" You know,
bet.
it was like this massive like It was just crazy, and I'm
It was-
happy that
it's good to have like an official like
Yeah, I'm really proud of Viz for doing
legal
what they
way
do
to
with the
read
Shonen Jump
a lot
app.
of the manga. Now.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna do some takes on the whole pirating stuff. Does that sound good?
Let's
Is
hear
that
it.
good?
Yeah, I
Please,
love talking
yes.
about pirating. Yes.
So I am torn about it because
Uh-huh.
I think obviously if you can, you should support the creators and the industry. But I also think without pirating, we would not have a lot of what we have today.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Facts.
100%. Like pirating, even though again it's not the most legal way to go about things, if we didn't have it, like it would be so different.
Mm.
And I also think like for people who can't afford to buy physical manga or to, you know, do the Shonen Jump app, it's like I don't know. Like I think that's different. I think it's I'm like torn on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think there's definitely some aspects where it's like, yeah, support the actual stuff, but it's also like pirating in a weird way is kind of like a pillar
Mm.
in like
See, yeah.
manga consumption. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean, yeah, I feel like viewers at home might know this, they might not, but Crunchyroll started as a pirate site. It wasn't
Yeah.
it was not an official anime site. It was a
Yeah.
site just like YouTube, designed specifically to upload fan subtitled anime series, and it eventually transitioned, and they got rights to do Naruto and all this other stuff, and eventually they transitioned into being a fully legal avenue for anime watchers, and it's one of the most massive anime watching
Oh,
platforms
yeah.
for US viewers. So it's so interesting to me because there the anime community thrived because of the passion of these fans putting their time and effort into translating these works into English for many of us to get our hands on. But it's just like you said, HVL. I pretty much tell everyone, I say, I understand if financially you're not able, but if there's a series you really love and respect and you want to try to support it, do what you can, you know, give what you can, buy the merchandise, buy the manga itself, you know, buy something when you have the financial means, because it helps to support the future endeavors and creations of that author. You know, if Toriyama, if people had never bought Dragon Ball stuff, who knows if Dragon Ball would have ever received the respect, the honor, you know, the acclaim or the success that it has now. Same with Oda and One Piece. These things, like, it's because the fans are able to put something back to it. And sometimes those smaller creators, I mean, I think about one that you talk about, which is Dorohedoro. You know, I don't think Dorohedoro gets a lot of love in the States. And I can only imagine Q Hayashida, you know, as an author and artist, is probably not making anywhere near the big bucks, you know, not making the Toriyama and Oda type money at all. So, you know, doing what you can if you're a fan of that series to buy something to support her. Well, I mean, it's not even like support her directly, but to support the creation of that series or the future series. That goes a long ass way, you know? So I totally agree with you though, because I mean, the just pirating is just, it's never going to get eliminated because there's just never going to be a functional legal alternative that eliminates the need for it, if that makes any sense. Like,
no, it does.
It's just outside of the realm of, it's like people used to say, like, I wish Netflix had every TV show ever, and that just will never happen. And it's because the fact that diverse licenses and licensing is a very complex system of functionality, but we're getting there. I mean, Crunchyroll and Funimation have made anime so much more accessible. The Shonen Jump app, manga is $2 away from you, you know? If you can drop $2, you can read 100 chapters a day. You know, that's baller. But
I'm going getting through One Piece right now because the Shonen Jump app, because all the box sets don't exist right now.
Yeah,
they've
been sold out for so long.
We found one in the wild the other day.
Yeah, we saw box set 2 at a Books A Million. Yeah, just on the shelf.
Whoa.
Random Texas Barnes.
It was like a middle of nowhere Texas.
Let me drive.
You probably just have to drive 25 hours, probably.
Yeah, who knows, wherever. Wherever.
Whatever.
That's funny. So where are you at? Where are you at in One Piece?
I am. I could literally pull up my iPad right now. They didn't just enter the Grand Line. They're in the Grand Line. It's the Grand Line, but they're at that second island with all those giants.
Yeah.
What is it? Little Garden.
Little Garden.
Yes. So I'm at that point right now, and I don't know why I slept so long on One Piece, and everyone tells me, they're like, if you like it now, you're gonna like it so much more later. Because like East Blue was probably my favorite arc that I've read so far. Yeah. East Blue was so good.
I'm happy you liked it.
I love Nami's background.
I'm tired of
Arlong Park is so
Nami. You got
good.
it. It's so disrespectful.
So
good.
People are so disrespectful to the beginning of One Piece. I hear all these fucking noobs, and they're like, yeah, I really snooze fest through the beginning of One Piece. What a snooze! And I'm like, shut your disrespectful mouth.
That's good.
I'm like,
one of my favorite things to see on TikTok is like a person that's like I'll never watch One Piece. There's a 1,000+ episodes, and it's like 20 episodes in. It's like, oh, it's all right. And it's like 200 episodes in, and they're like dressed up as Luffy. they're like obsessed with it. It's
literally, yes.
Yeah.
Let me guess,
It's
your favorite
so
character is Buggy the Clown, right? Right? HBO, your favorite
Buggy.
character. Buggy the Clown?
Can I ask you something? Can I ask you something? This hurts my brain. Buggy's power is the chop fruit. The whatever the fuck.
You remember, right?
Chop fruit.
Bara no me. The chop fruit. Mm-hmm.
He can separate his body parts. So let me ask you something. Why can Buggy fly? Why can he fly? He can just fly.
He can just fly.
All he has
to do is separate his ankles from his feet, and he can just fly.
And then he can fly.
His fruit has no limitations. He can just fly. Nobody understands why.
He has the most powerful fruit. He's the most powerful fruit. It's the most powerful fruit.
Can he beat Goku? Can he beat Goku?
He might. He might. No,
wait.
All I want to know is, me and Kenny have always racked our brain on this because Oda has never given a direct answer. For some reason, when his body parts separate, They don't fall to the ground. They just float. He just gets autonomous control of every piece of his body in every direction, and his fruit doesn't delineate that is a technique that he has. It's just a thing. And Oda's just like, fuck it. It's just the way it works, boss.
Yeah,
he makes his own rules. He's like, I made this.
rules.
It's my own rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's like the second fruit we're introduced to, isn't it?
it's like one of the
It's the
earliest.
second fruit.
It's like Luffy stretches, Buggy can fly. Those are the two. There are literally two rules in One Piece. Luffy's made of rubber. Buggy can fly. That's it. No. Yes, but we love One Piece.
I don't know.
We love One Piece.
We love One Piece on this
We
podcast. So
Happy that
the
you're
boys
liking
and
it
I-
so far too.
Yeah, I'm
It
happy
only
you're
gets
So
liking
better.
good. Zoro's
So-
my favorite. Zoro.
Zoro,
The
okay.
goat. He's the goat, man.
I respect it. Zoro's something.
Zoro has a lot of cool
Sounds like a
parts.
hot take.
No,
No,
I obviously have a thing for a crewmate that you haven't met yet, so you have to meet her, and
Same.
then we can talk further about it. But
Yeah, both of your favorite crewmates are not yet met.
yeah, you haven't met either.
You'll
of my
meet mine
favorites.
pretty soon. I'll just say.
Yeah, I
that.
think.
Okay.
Well, I think
you
you
within
meet
the next-
Jerry's first.
Yeah. You'll meet mine, but
No.
Kenny, we
No.
won't spoil anything.
Okay,
I think
never
you-
mind.
Yeah.
I'm inherently a spoiler, so I just
Yeah,
can't
so-
talk about it anymore.
No.
I'm sorry.
Do you feel like have you been able to avoid One Piece spoilers? Or are you going in mostly blind?
Actually, I mean, okay, I would argue. Well, I know that someone dies, but I don't know who they are yet.
Oh.
Okay.
Shit. Okay.
So,
I hate. Never mind. I cannot speak. I'm
Actually,
sorry.
literally shut your mouth. Okay, that's fine. I think you'll be okay then. I think.
my thing is like I probably have seen spoilers, but I don't know that they're spoilers. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Yeah.
It's kinda
It'll
like,
be like until you
who
like
is
actually
this guy?
see it.
I mean, it's kind of rough because
Yeah.
like one thing that's really hard for people to not be around episode it's gotta be chapter like 400-ish. The like main part of Luffy's crew kind of came together, and pretty much all promotional material since then, so over the last 10-15 years, has utilized like the entirety of the Straw Hat Pirates. So I think for a lot of people it's hard to avoid knowing who the additional Straw Hats are,
Right.
who the rest of them are.
Right.
So when they get introduced in the story, a lot of people are not surprised. They're like, oh, that person's gonna they know that person's gonna join Luffy's crew.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you have any idea, do you have any concept of who the other Straw Hats
So-
are? Or
Is Robin a straw hat?
I do you want me to give you an answer? That's why I'm like,
I think yes. Robin's
okay.
a straw hat, right?
yes, correct. Nico Robin
Okay.
is the name of one of the characters. It's a
That's
Straw
what
Hat.
I
Yes.
thought.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if he's a straw hat, but I think he's the one who dies.
Oh, okay. So there's another
Ace?
character. Ace is yeah. There's a character named Ace.
Yeah.
Doesn't he die? I think he dies.
HVL, I
No,
don't want to spoil it for you, but
No, wait, no, that's someone else. That's someone else.
I don't want to
What's
spoil
up?
it for you. But I'll tell you, he's not a Straw Hat. He's not in the Straw Hat Pirates.
not a
but-
Straw
I think he was.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
think he was. I know he
Okay.
has like a side story light novel or manga.
He does.
or
Yeah,
something.
He does, yeah.
it's 2 light novels about him. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
They're essentially prequels. They happen before the beginning of One Piece.
and he looks so much like Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just say
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
getting close to you'll actually learn some of that in the
Soon.
next.
I
you're
believe
getting
it's
close.
next arc.
Can you
You're
talk about
actually
something
getting
else?
close to some
I'm
of-
paying over here. I just want to say so much, but
But that's funny.
I know.
That's
We-
interesting.
we-
I feel like a lot of people know the there's like 2 Straw Hats that are pretty distinct that join the crew much later, but are like all over the promotional material, and I think a lot of people usually know who they are, especially because one is also a big marketing. Well, actually, there's 3 now that I think about it. That is like a big part of the marketing because he's very cute.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that you didn't name either of them.
Wait. Oh, I know.
Okay,
What's his name?
I feel like it's impossible not to know the character. Like,
I mean, there
I
are
know, I
pictures.
can, I literally, I'm seeing it in my brain right now.
yeah,
But I forgot what's its name?
his name is
Uh,
Chopper.
Yes.
Yes, Chopper.
Tony
Chopper.
Chopper.
Yes,
Tony,
yes.
Oh yeah, Tony
I was-
Chopper.
I was at I
Okay.
was at like a comic book store the other day, and I saw
Yeah.
like a Chopper pop, I think, or something
Yeah.
like that.
That makes sense.
I'm like, that's definitely One Piece.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
It's One Piece.
I know,
believe
yeah.
His arc is technically, I think he'll.
I think
he'll
you're
come
literally like, yeah,
next. Yeah.
you were like literally like right where you're about to be there. So
Yeah.
I think you're in for a wild ride. The first half of One Piece is some of the best,
Yeah.
and the second half just gets better. So
So excited.
Yeah.
The thing is with me, I think I've been, believe it or not, I've been slow at reading One Piece. Like,
Mhm.
the only reason I'm on like chapter 125 or something right now is because I was on vacation and didn't have manga, like
Oh,
as
wow.
much manga as I would have liked to with me.
Right.
But I just, reading physically is the best
It's
for
so
me,
much
and
better.
reading online is so hard.
I got
It's
you.
so hard for me.
Me too. I'm the same way.
Yeah, okay.
Not for
I see
Kenny,
you
not for
down
Kenny.
there.
I've been trying HBO. I've been trying really hard to read Black Clover, and I don't want to buy it right now just because the early volumes are tough to find. You know. Yeah, I know.
Ooh.
I've read
Wait,
the
wait,
first.
1 through 26?
Oh,
I mean,
oh,
it's really.
oh.
I've been trying. I've been trying really hard, but
It's
I think
like
the
3
reason I keep
manga
stalling-
hands.
26 just came out, right?
Yeah, like
It
just,
just
came out.
came. Yeah, I got it a couple days ago.
Yeah. The reason I
Yeah.
keep stalling is because I don't have the physicals. I think that if I had it physically, I would not be stalling as much because I keep stalling because I've been reading it on the app, and I'm at like I think I'm on like
Yeah.
it's gonna be like chapter 50ish. I stalled out, so it must be around volume 5 or 6, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm stalled out right now. I haven't gone back to it in a couple weeks, so
That's
I
fair.
might try to get back into it. I think that it's good. I've tried to dispel this because someone called me out in the comments once because
Barry
I said
basically continues to get roasted in the comments about the fact
of
that
a
he doesn't
bitch.
like Black Clover,
Son of
so
a
he's
bitch.
changed his mind.
No, I never. You have to
So
go
that-
back and listen. You have to go back and listen. I never said I didn't like it. I just said like I felt that it had missed its moment. I felt like it was kind of this weird. I don't know if you know much about this HVL, but for a minute there, Black Clover was constantly running against a lot of massively popular
yeah.
series. So
Yeah.
it was up against things like Demon Slayer, Promised Neverland, My Hero Academia. There was always a Shonen Jump title that was overshadowing it. So I used to always say, I felt like Black Clover had missed its mark. That there was no chance for it to be the big thing. But all this,
Right.
I have to say that oddly enough, in the last 6 or so months, it has finally it has bubbled to the top of a lot of people's piles. It's kind of
Yep.
become the forerunner of Shonen Jump, and I've accepted that. And I never said I didn't. Damn it, commenters! They got
In
under
the
my
comments,
skin.
guys, you know what to say.
Because I
Talk
do.
shit
Got
down
him.
there.
They
I
got
watched
it.
the anime when it first came out. I read the manga when it first started. I just didn't stick with it, and it's not because I didn't
Yeah.
like it. I just lost. I just happened to doze into something else. But I plan to read
Yeah.
the manga all the way through. I don't think I'll watch the anime, but I'll probably read the manga all the way through. And I've liked what I've read so far. I don't think it's like. Okay, now I'm gonna be serious. I don't think that it's the best shonen manga of the
I
era.
agree.
I think there's better shonen running right now. I think there's
yeah.
better shonen of all time.
That's not a hot
I think
take.
I think it's a standard shonen that is enjoyable. It is
Yep.
action packed. It's well drawn, and it's worth a read just for some of the fun characters that exist in this world. But I think that
Yep.
it's not changing the genre in any way or like challenging shonen
Yep.
as a medium as a distinction. But sorry, that is maybe, I guess it's not a hot take, but I've had
No,
some
I
commenters
completely
getting
agree.
they've gotten my grill about it because I'm like, especially like Chase, he fell in love with fucking Black Clover all of a sudden. He used to hate it, and then all of a sudden he read it, and
Yeah.
he was like, never mind, it's the best fucking thing I've ever read.
He's like mid Clover, Goat Clover. He's like
Goat
Goat
Clover.
Clover now.
His changed his mind too fucking fast, but what? But you like
Whatever.
it, HVL. You like it.
I do. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
on like volume 10 or so, and it's
Okay,
in many
so
ways.
you're a little ahead of me.
Yeah, in many ways,
Mhm.
I would equate the read to Demon Slayer,
Mm.
in the sense of it's not the best thing ever, and
Right.
I don't go to Black Clover or Demon Slayer for the best thing ever.
Mm.
It's just a fun read, and it's
Yeah.
I think it's okay to have that sometimes. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's like sometimes I don't need the super heady, super like intellectual of like monster. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Sometimes I don't need that. Sometimes I just need
You
like
don't need
Black Clover or something.
Baudelaire's The Flowers of Evil manga written by Shuzo Oshimi. You don't need
I
this is
read
the stuff I'm reading
that
right now.
I read that first omnibus and dropped it.
And you loved it. And you bought it all? It's your favorite series of all time? Damn it,
Yeah,
I'm joking.
yeah.
This is the
Berserk,
podcast-
goodbye.
Yeah, it's a podcast where we lie.
Yeah.
You're killing me. I love The Flowers of Evil. I love it. But it is very metaphors and trying to be edgy, and there's a lot of like Oshimi always likes to do that. So I love it though, but I'm maybe my taste is not perfect sometimes, but that's funny.
I don't know if anyone's taste is perfect.
Yeah.
Mine is.
Oh,
Was
that
that
perfect
That
taste.
felt so inspirational.
That's pretty
Right.
inspirational.
Yeah, literally.
Now,
Yeah.
that's a T-shirt or something. No, I don't know if I like
Oh,
that.
run it on your merch store.
Merch?
That's honestly,
Oh
that
my
sounds like the
God.
title of this.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna call this podcast HVL thinks nobody's taste is perfect or something like
Perfect.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put it on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
I
think-
love that.
That would be so
It's
perfect.
funny that you. It's funny you talk about merch because literally, I did a live stream today
Oh yeah, with the East
of like
Coast,
unboxing
right?
some manga that I got today. Yeah. And it was funny because someone commented, they're like, "When's the HVL merch coming out?" I'm like, "What? No."
Dang, yeah, that's crazy.
People
You gotta
wanna-
do a
people
merch
wanna
store,
rep
HVL.
They want to rep you.
What would I even do for merch?
I don't know.
J-
I don't
Honestly,
know either.
Put your face on a shirt. That's all. People will probably
I
buy
don't
it.
know if I
Yeah.
like that. to be
Yeah, would that be
honest.
creepy?
Wait,
Would that be a
That
little
seems
weird?
Wait a
controversial.
minute.
Well, you should get
I'm
like
gonna
a.
turn my light on super quick, so I feel like I'm really dark.
Oh, is it? Oh, I guess so. Are
Oh.
you East Coast? Is that what it is? Is that why you're an hour ahead of us? I think.
I'm in the Midwest. Yeehaw,
Oh,
boys.
so you're CST.
Oh.
Yeah,
You're
we're-
Central Time.
we're
I'm
Midwest.
EST.
Oh, you are
Yeah.
EST. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, you're Midwest,
Yep.
but you're slightly more that way.
We're Midwest yeehaw in Texas.
No,
Like,
we're Texas.
We-
Yeehaw.
We're
we
the
are
real
for sure yeehaw.
We're the most yeehaw it gets. Honestly, we're riding on. We're
I actually have my
headed-
cowboy boots in the closet.
Actually, I'm riding my horse to Chase's apartment right after. No.
Hey, listen, don't even get me started. I rode horses and showed competitively for years. So there.
No.
Wait, where is this at?
Oh yeah.
What?
Wait.
This is not part of the manga history. What's going
Yeah,
on?
where was the origin? This should have been part of the origin story. Oh my god.
You got wait.
Yep.
I bet you love that show about girls that are horses. Then right?
Yeah, have you watched the Horse Girl show?
The Horse Girl movie?
It's called Uma Musume is the name of the
Yeah,
show.
Uma
It's,
Musume.
it's literally
I
it's
haven't.
literally about listen to me HVL. This series is about
Okay.
big boobied horsewomen.
Uh-huh.
They are half horse, half women, and it's in horse races against each
yeah.
other. It's
Yeah.
it's like one half ecchi, one
Ooh.
half sports manga.
Yeah.
Well, anime. I think it's only an anime. I don't think there's a manga.
Jerry,
It's
what is
pretty,
this called again?
It's Uma Musume is the name of the series.
How do you spell that?
Yeah, UMA space MUSUME, I believe. Uma Musume, I believe it's.
All right,
it's just
Uma
about a
Musume,
horse
all right. Yeah, for
Very
research
good.
purposes. For research. Yeah.
Yeah, for research, David.
research.
No, that's funny. So you rode horses horses?
Oh yeah, I've had several horses. Like I've done the
Wow.
whole thing. Mhm.
You're
Wait, that's cool. That's
Would
a
you
legit
say-
cool thing.
yeah.
Yeah. That's like
Yeah,
a
that-
like a fun fact that
Is
you
that
tell
something that you
people
still
when
Yeah.
participate in?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you still horse?
No, I had to sell my horse when I went off to college because it just
Oh,
didn't make sense.
Oh.
right.
It's
Yeah,
okay,
you can't
we're fine.
take a horse to
But it
college. I
doesn't make
mean,
sense.
Yeah, it would be weird.
I actually applied to university where I could have,
oh,
but I got in, but I just decided not to go.
Wait. What the fuck?
They have a professional equestrian team.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that's
actually
why.
makes sense. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. I didn't even think about that.
Wow.
this is down here in Texas. Actually, land, if you're buying it, is defined by how many horses you can put on it. So, like, I believe it's per acre you can own one horse.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Wait, that
It
is
is
a
like-
real
No, I
thing.
get
Yeah.
yep.
If you are
It's a real
genuinely
thing.
buying
It's a
it,
thing too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Wow.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
horses
Yeah.
are a big deal. Okay.
They are.
I guess
Thank
I guess
you
we're
for
talking about
understanding.
horses tonight.
Yeah, welcome to the horse podcast. Okay.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a legitimate like, kids who race horses, like an equestrian manga at this point. If there maybe there is one and I'm just unaware of it.
There has to be.
That sounds
There-
like something
it
that has to
probably
exist,
is.
right?
I
Right?
might not
Like,
read it. That's really the question here.
I'm about to say if it
That
exists,
seems
I'm
like
surprised.
something I would avoid, to be honest.
You wouldn't want to read the equestrian imagine
No!
high schoolers competing in equestrian competitions.
That was my life. I don't need to read about
Oh,
it.
found
Um,
one. It's called jumping.
Oh shit,
Jumping.
that exists. David found one.
Yep.
Okay, well, gotta get that one. Write that one down.
Wait, HVL, are you
Go out and
into
make a purchase.
are you into sports manga at all?
Yeah.
Dude,
Let's talk
Oh my
sports
gosh.
manga.
Oh, she has
I-
your
I
Mushi pedal.
Oh, yeah.
I just recently started getting into it.
Okay.
I have almost all of Yomushi Pedal. I have some of Slam Dunk. I have almost all of Eye Shield. I need 1, 3, and 4, which is a nightmare right now.
Yikes.
Those are beautiful art.
Okay, listen to me, HVL. You're gonna not believe
you
this.
You have 1 and 3, I think.
I happen to have 1 through 4 of Eye Shield 21 sitting on my shelf.
Yeah.
They're from when I was a kid. They're like they're from literally like when Kenny and I were little kids. The sad part about my volume 1 and 2 though is that at some point in time when we were in high school or something,
they got rained on.
Yeah, they got completely soaked. So they have like these. They're like totally. They're still readable, but they're just completely like damaged to all hell. But
oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but I'm not getting rid. I'm not going to send them to you, sadly. But
I
was like,
I wouldn't either.
I'm about to, but it's funny that those are the ones you're missing. I was like, crap, I actually happen to have those ones.
Wait, so
that's crazy.
So do you just have like insane luck when it comes to finding lots? Because I feel like I can't remember what it was exactly. I think it was just like a random haul video, but you were like, yeah, I got all of Battle Royale. I got all of Ultimo.
That did actually happen.
It was like pretty good lot. I was like, what? That's a great lot.
Yeah, good price, you know.
So I do have pretty good luck. I will say, when I find a series that I want to collect, I will stalk just about every selling site there is, constantly looking for that series. Because like, just constantly, like for Ultimo, literally eBay, Mercari, Craigslist, like all these different sites, and Manga Swap's where I found it. But yeah, I just sometimes it takes a while, but I just stalk just about every site.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's a time commitment. I'm not gonna lie.
Have you ever been ripped off on Manga Swap?
Actually, no.
Wow.
And I don't know how, because that site feels like such a site that you would just get scammed.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Beyond
it really does. David, it really does sound like that, huh?
You got scammed?
Oh, so I lost so much money.
What happened?
I thought I was getting. So I finished volume 1 of Goodnight Poon Poon, which I know you love.
She hates it.
Don't.
It's your favorite.
Yeah. Love it.
But no, I read volume 1 and I was like, I need to have the rest of this. And I think that was the first Inio Asano piece that I read, and I was like, I love Inio Asano. And what, buddy? Why are you? My cat's. He's attacking me. Sorry.
Oh.
There's Casper. There he is.
When the cat's so bad.
But I read Goodnight Poon Poon, loved it, wanted to get more. I saw there was a deal on our Manga Swap for the whole set for $150. And I was like, this is a good deal. And I'm an idiot, so the guy was like, or person was like, oh yeah, just send it friends and family. I was like, okay. And I did friends and family on PayPal, and then he ghosted me, and then I lost $150. So
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
it happens. I mean, I'm an idiot because it even said, because PayPal warns you when you do that with like an unknown number. It's like, oh, are you sure? Because like you have to pay a fee and you can't, you won't be guaranteed to get your money back. And I was like, yep. So
sounds great. Click.
So yeah, I trust this random stranger online. So now I never use our Manga Swap because I'm
honestly. When I use it, I do, like, there are a couple things that I live by. One, if they have other confirmed trades. Like, if you don't have any other confirmed trades, no. Yeah. 2, if they, like, DM you saying, oh, I have, like, Goodnight Pun Pun, instead of commenting I have Goodnight Pun Pun, scam.
Yeah.
And I always ask
that's a good one.
Which is what they did.
I always ask. Exactly.
There are a lot of red flags. It's all my fault.
Yeah, and I also ask for a crap ton of pictures, which they might have. A scammer could have that, but
true.
Yeah, thankfully I've used it. I want to say 6 times at this point, and I haven't gotten scammed. Thankfully.
Yeah, I think if you take all those precautions and like you use your common sense to like be wary, then it's hard not to get scammed. Because they do have some measures where they have like a list of people that are scammers that they tell you to avoid. They tell you exactly what to do on PayPal, and I'm an idiot. I didn't follow any of those rules, so now I know.
Also, it's honestly, it's also one of those things where even the first time that I did it every wrong way. Thankfully, I wasn't scammed, but I've like talked to people and they'd be like, "Yeah, this is what you want to watch out for." So
yeah.
That's funny. Okay, before we shift gears away from, I want to have a discussion about not manga for a minute at the end here. But before we shift gears, I wanted to ask you, HVL, what's on the horizon? What do you want to collect next? What's the series that is the next? Like maybe you don't have any volumes of it yet, or maybe you have one. What's the series you want to try to start tracking down?
And tell me it's
multiple.
Tell me it's Blue Lock.
No, that doesn't exist yet, Kenny.
I want that so bad.
Yes.
Blue Lock.
It would be nice.
Releases.
Yes.
I want that so bad. So,
yeah, I'm gonna start calling it. I'm gonna start calling it Kodansha jail at this point. It's
jail.
It's the seminal place where Kodansha just releases it.
On Kodansha jail,
they just release it digitally, and they don't want us to ever have it physically. They're like, Blue Lock, Tokyo Revengers, just digital, boys.
Okay.
Okay, so what's on the next? What's on the horizon for HVL?
So this is gonna sound like you know what I mean, like okay, whatever. But like honestly, all of the Grail series that I've had in the past, I have now. So I'm kind of at the point where it's like I'm pretty happy with where my collection is, and it's not like so. Okay, the next series that I want to get eventually is GTO.
Okay, yeah.
I've heard so many good things about GTO, but like I'm not willing to spend a butt ton of money for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if I find volumes here and there, that's great. But unlike Eden, I'm gonna be honest, I spent a good chunk of money on Eden. Like I'm not gonna put a lot of money into GTO. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like when I find volumes, but I'm not gonna do my every site search. You know what I mean?
Why Eden? Was it something that you read before and like you knew you loved it, or?
So Eden was a series that it was one of those things where like I knew of the premise and I knew of it, and I've heard from so many people that it was so good. And I knew it was one of those things where it's like, even though I haven't read it, I knew that I would love it. And it's true. Like, I love Eden. So it was like, it's super dark, super gory. It's like post-pandemic or like during pandemic, which is kind of ironic.
Yeah, like,
in a way.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where it's like, I knew that I would like it. And like, since I started collecting, that was a grail. So it's like, now I have it. And it feels so good. Like I just recently completed it, but
you might check out. Have you ever read Jagan?
Oh my
Jagan. Yeah, Muneyuki Kaneshiro. It's a good one, and it's I feel like it's kind of up your alley. I don't know.
I've heard like really really good things from a lot of people that I really respect. So yeah, I want to read that.
Read that as well. Okay. So GTO's the main one you might start hunting down after this. No others on your target list.
You might as well get Gaunt's. Because Gaunt's is like
Gaunt's is wild and it's up your alley. I gotta be honest.
I know. Okay, Gaunt's is one of those things where it's like the omnibuses disgusting.
Awful.
Don't.
Nope.
So bad. Part of me is holding out for Gantz, though, waiting for a potential deluxe edition.
Yeah, like a leather.
If there is a deluxe, so I have like almost. I think I'll accept Blade of the Immortal Volume 3. I think I'm getting that soon, but I have every single Dark Horse deluxe. They're so good.
They're so good.
So nice.
They're so good.
But I'm hoping that Gantz would get that treatment. I'm also hoping that with Lone Wolf and Cub, but. We'll see.
You think so? You know, I just realized Lone Wolf and Cub, the first omnibus, the kind of the chunkier ones, started showing back up at my Barnes and Noble recently.
Yes, mine too.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're reprinting them or what they're doing there. I'm not sure what's going on. It seems like a weird. Yeah, I was like, Dark Horse seems like a weird decision because they also just reprinted the I Am a Hero omnibuses, at least the first 4, I think 4 or 5.
Yeah,
they started to put those back on the shelves, and I think that some people were hoping they would do those in the deluxes, but. I'm not sure what Dark Horse.
You can't predict Dark Horse, no.
Because at this point, I think I was calculating the other day that by the end of next year, both Blade of the Immortal and Berserk, if they stay on the release schedule they're on, both of them will be completed. Like they will have all of the current volumes in deluxe.
Just crazy to think about.
So obviously, I'd imagine that sometime next year we'll hear unless they plan, unless this is it, Hellsing, Blade of the Immortal, and Berserk, and that's it. But my assumption is most likely Dark Horse will, in the next year, announce at least one more series that they're going to put into the deluxe. And I think that a lot of, there's speculation Trigun, there's speculation Gauntz, there's speculation Lone Wolf and Cub, I've heard I Am a Hero, there's a lot of really solid options they have, so I wonder which one.
Yeah. Any of those would be great.
Yeah, I think any of those would be solid decisions, but I'm curious which direction they'll go.
Yeah, especially if they put, like, Gantz or Lone Wolf and Cub, or just those older series in the deluxes. People will buy that because they're having, like, people can't easily find Lone Wolf and Cub singles or Lone Wolf and Cub omnibuses. You know what I mean? I think Gantz is a little bit different story, but if they print some of that older stuff, it's gonna sell because people want the series.
Yeah, the weird thing about Gantz is that those chunky omnibuses are still being printed. Like, they're not, like 7 or 8 is about to come out. Like, so they're like not done with that print run. So I think it would be, that's the only thing that makes me hesitate that that's gonna get a leather bound. And so I think Trigun is much more I think that's like, the more that I've thought about it, Trigun is probably, it's like only 10 volumes, it's like a short series, it would look good in those leather bounds.
It'd be just exactly like Hellsing.
Right. So in my mind, like, Trigun is probably a prime suspect for one, and I just feel like that series would look good in leather. You know what I mean? Like, there's just something, it's just kind of got that, they could easily stick.
It's actually crazy. I believe Dark Horse does Hellboy, and Hellboy has similar leather-bound.
They do. Yeah, I actually have one of the Hellboy ones, and I really love it. It's a beautiful edition. But sweet, that was the last little manga thing. But the one I wanted to have a brief discussion with you, HVL, because I think that you're gonna hopefully. I mean, if someone makes it this far into the podcast, maybe get a little bit of guidance from you, because I think that for many people out there in the world, they probably look at you and think that it's very inspiring to see a young woman choosing to just ride solo and put herself out there into a community that is predominantly male. I mean, just no way around it. That when you talk, especially with the series and the things you focus on, you're definitely not a shoujo and josei manga tuber.
No.
Which is maybe, or even BL at that point. And a lot of the other female manga tubers that I've found don't show their faces. Or they opt to show them very infrequently, or maybe even keep them mostly covered, and sometimes don't even narrate to that degree. But I wonder, I can only imagine that other young girls might be inspired, or at least, get some inspiration from your desire and your ability to be confidently out there, especially just based on the speed at which your internet presence has grown. You grew very quickly. You kind of hit the wave of the algo on YouTube when manga content was getting suggested very heavily. So I wanted to hear from your perspective as a woman, doing this content in the realm. I like to have lots of discussions with Chase, because he's kind of one of the few black males that's doing this right now, that's really out there and kind of on the larger side of things. And, I know that he's had to face, unfortunately, levels of racism from individuals on the internet. And I think that I'm curious, again, I know this is like a serious subject shift, but I'm curious, how have you managed that? Do you have any words of wisdom for other young girls that might want to get into it and be in front of the camera and talk about the things they like? Do you have any advice, any perspective that you think that would be helpful to someone that wants to, even if they're not a young girl, but someone who might want to start a manga channel or a YouTube channel at all? Because again, quick growth is something that not all channels have the benefit of, and I think that you learn a lot of lessons really fast when you get that. So I'm curious.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think so. Right off the bat, I think yes, my channel hit the algorithm, but I also think my growth is very much because I am a woman showing my face on camera. I think that's just completely honest. Like, I think my statistics, I think 75% of my viewers are male.
Wow.
And that's like not, this isn't me like upset about it or complaining about it, but it's the reality. Like, my channel grew because yes, it hit the algorithm, but also like I'm a female in the community, right? And I also like a lot of the stuff that men normally like. And I mean, I think when you're watching manga collections, hauls, you tend to watch people's videos that has content that you enjoy. Right. So I'm not, more like, when I think, I'm going to watch a manga haul, I don't think of watching really a shoujo girls haul. Not that I don't like them,
Right.
but because I just don't know the content, right?
Yeah.
So I think, you know, I also, why I guess created my YouTube account, and honestly, like when I started, I didn't even really think that this growth that I had would be possible. I just purely did this for fun, and I think that's a great way to start. I think that's an honest way to start.
Absolutely.
But I did it because I was just looking for an outlet to be creative. And I also, I mean, I would argue I'm a very extroverted person. So I like talking and I like sharing my hobbies. And it was also like, I just wanted a community, right? Like not a lot of people in my life watch anime, read manga. I mean, I think that's where a lot of people decide to start channels and Instagrams and all that sort of stuff. So it was just kind of like, in the beginning, it was just sendies. Like, I want to find people, I want to create community. And I think I grew, you know, part of me likes to think because of my personality and like, you know, content.
I think that I say this all the time. I think that the people who grow fast, it happens because no matter what way you put it, it's because someone on the other side would want to hang out with you.
Yeah, they're relatable.
Like at the end of the day, like they watch your content and they were like, I would hang out with that person or I would spend time with that person. And because this is wild, but like if you ever dig HVL, there are so many manga channels that did not hit the algo, and there are these people who have 50, 100 videos of manga hauls. They have 100 subscribers. They can't get over 50 views. You know, they're putting out the same type of content, but what it boils down to is that you as a human are someone who people would want to spend time with, and there's a personality different. So don't downplay. What I'm saying is don't downplay yourself. You do have some sort of spark or special individuality that has certainly drawn people to your channel and your content. And I think that's why I think that is part of your growth. So
you know what? Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. That was a really wholesome moment. I appreciate it. But I guess going off of that, where was I going with this? I also, like, I think as growing up, and I think everyone kind of experiences this, but it's like, you know what, just kind of wanted to fit in, just do what society's doing, just kind of be whatever. But I got to the point now where I was like, I just don't care. So it's like, I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to have fun with it. And it's like, you know, again, for me, YouTube was a part of my life for my entire life, essentially. Right. So it's like, you know what? I'm going to just do this. I'm going to have fun. Sendies. We're going to see what happens. And honestly, it's like, I encourage people to take that step and to be bold and to just be themselves on the internet, because people just like hanging out and just kind of sharing this, like a conversation. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
And I think, you know, I think everyone goes about YouTube in a different way. Like, if you don't want to show your face, or if you don't want to do any of that sort of stuff, that's fine. You know, you create content the way that you want to create content. But I think as I've gotten bigger / as the months have gone by, I think I'm starting to understand, especially on the women like MangaTube side of things, I can see why people don't post their face or show their face.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I'm being straight up, I get a ton of comments, a ton of DMs, a ton of just about everything from just people saying weird, gross,
I'm physically ill.
Yes, inappropriate things.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, like, I can handle it. Like, I know how to navigate that, thankfully.
Right.
But if you don't know how to navigate that, it's like, that's different. That could, it's a lot. It is. And I think, you know, when you don't show your face, or even there's like hesitancy into getting into the community as a female because of that. Because of that. Because again, it's a male dominated community and whatever.
Yes.
And that's not saying that everyone's like that. Definitely not. But there are those few people that make it frustrating sometimes, you know? And I would just say, I would encourage, especially young women or young girls, to do what they love. If you want to make videos, do it. But also be aware, and I'm sure they know this, be aware of the potential feedback that you're going to get and know how to handle that. And if you can't handle it, then maybe stay away for a little while, because it's inevitable, I would argue, which is unfortunate, but it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and that's honestly, compared to my entire audience, it's a small portion. So it's not like, oh, they're going to run me out of the community. No, that's not the case. But it's like just being aware of that. But also it's like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And if I need to block you, I'll block you, you know?
Shit.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's great. It's so good because, like, you know, my wife, she was really hesitant to do anything. You know, she loves all of this, and I think she's always been terrified at the idea of putting herself out there and doing some of this content that she loves. And I've always told her, you know, you got to just do what you can. You know, we're smart. I'm not, you know, if people are definitely gonna send you weird shit, dude, but like, you're gonna be fine. You know, we can navigate it to some degree, but I think there's been this degree of fear that withholds her from ever even feeling like she's a part of a community that she's been a part of for, you know, years and years. She pretty much likes, this is crazy, but like her favorite stuff is like the exact same shit that you like. And it's like, you know, there are girls out there that are in that same zone and same wheelhouse. And I think that it's unfortunate when I talk to her, hearing the way that the amount of fear, it's like legitimate fear that comes out, where it's like, it's this fear that there's someone creepy, someone weird, someone potentially harmful on the other side, and that keeps people away from making genuine content. And I think that I think that you're an inspiration to a lot of people that are whether you know it or not. I'm sure there are many people that have come across your content and recognized how bold or how outstanding it is that you're willing to just jump into this community, put your ideas and thoughts into it out there, and vlog and bring people along on your experience with collecting and being a part of a community that's been both new but obviously accepting to you. And I think that's really powerful. So I hope that hope that if young girls our viewer audience is like 96% male, so I don't think something like that. Yeah, so
it is what it is.
Hopefully, if you put it out there or something, you know, maybe some girls will get to see this. But but you know, I hope that there's at least some takeaway there, and I hope dudes will stop being creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I will also say, I think when I got into the community, there's also, I don't know if it's a level of gatekeeping, but there's a level of, if you are a woman in the community and you don't like, not necessarily don't like, but if you don't read all of the popular titles or the more like the Berserks, the Vinland, if you're more into shoujo, I also feel like there's a weird gatekeepy vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
I feel that.
I feel like in the community, there are just certain staple series that everyone should read and that everyone should love. And if you don't love it, then you're wrong. Kind of like what you were talking about before. And I think if, as a woman, you know, I think, you know, I'm an exception in this, but I think women, again, demographics, shoujo, josei, I normally more like that sort of stuff. So it's like when you go into a community and you're being told what's right and what you should like, it's intimidating when you don't like that sort of stuff and you don't really want to like make that public because you don't want to get the slander. You know what I mean? Right. Like even when I said I don't like Goodnight Pun Pun, holy shit.
A lot of fucking depressed emo boys all were like, this fucker. She's ruining my favorite series.
I bet you got a lot of shit when you said that you didn't like Hunter x Hunter too. I feel like that was like
I forgot about that.
What? You like Hunter? So
Jesus.
So I mean, I think there's always a level of gatekeepiness and also a level of like they're not gonna accept me because I don't like what they think I should like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully, I like what everyone thinks I should like because it is good.
Yeah. Lucky you. Yeah.
I think funny. I think a good thing too with this past year, with there being so many more like new anime fans, manga fans, is that it's kind of like a soft reset on the community as a whole.
It is.
Because all these people coming in because they don't know how toxic it used to be. Because honestly, the anime community like years ago, toxic as fuck.
It was
like,
very
like a cesspool of gatekeepers.
I just
of like, you know, if you don't have this opinion, then you don't exist, basically.
Yeah.
And so I like that with this past year, so many more people getting into anime because, and I think Corey, when Corey was on our podcast, he said the same thing with being at
we talked about how cons after
yeah,
the
like
pandemic,
being at cons
yeah.
like now versus before the pandemic, it was like before it was like super toxic like on the show floor, but now it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like people are actually nice to each other and accepting, and so I'm happy that it's, at least from that perspective, it's better now than what it used to be.
Yeah.
It still has a long way to go because there's still toxic people that exist, of course. But
I feel like just in general, even in the world today, you can't have opinions. You can't. Someone's gonna be upset.
Exactly. You can't please 100% of the people for sure. So.
HVL, have you ever been to an anime convention?
No, but I want. Okay. I might be this fall. I might be. Yes.
Everybody, bring your manga. She'll sign it. No.
I might be this fall. I don't entirely know the details, but I might be, and I hope so because I think that would be so much fun.
That'd be really
yeah,
fun.
we started to go to some recently again. As some things have started to open up back here in Texas, you know. We've had the opportunity. I went to KamehamehaCon, and then we went to DreamCon, and then we went to Midest Anime, which was such a shit show. It was incredibly well run. It was incredibly well run, but there was just not a lot going on. It was in the middle of nowhere, and it was just like not a lot going on. But still fun. We still had a blast, honestly. With what there was, but it was great. It's been great to kind of re-enter the community with a different vibe. So if you get to go to one, you know, enjoy it
I want to so bad.
Yes.
I want to cosplay too, dude.
As?
Wait, who do you cosplay as?
I'm worried. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and part of me is worried that this would go poorly, not in like the actual how I look way, but in all the meme way. I want to do Makima from Chainsaw Man, but we all know how that's gonna be. Yeah.
Don't do it.
I know. I love her, but we all know how Twitter and Reddit feels about her.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not a degenerate for Makima. No matter, don't let anyone.
He's a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar.
I do not know.
You're such a bullshitter. He wanted to drop $500 on that statue.
I'm a bit of a degenerate for Makima. I'm not gonna lie.
He wanted to.
I can't even deny it. She's one of my favorite female characters. I'm so sorry.
But you already have like the hair color.
There's just something.
You just need the
you do kind of have. Yeah, that would not be too hard.
That'd be a pretty easy cosplay to do.
Yeah. But I love Makima.
Badass suit.
Yeah, easy.
I love Makima.
Come on now. I can figure that out.
I have a thing for anime female characters that are like incredibly like dominating, like that are oftentimes like in control of situations, manipulative, overbearing. Like those are like my favorite anime females.
There is no judgment from me because the anime men that I love are the insane ones. There is no judgment.
Hisoka? No,
wait, he's a pedo. Come on now.
Okay, but people
he's a murderer. Okay, that's what
I feel like. People stan Hisoka, and he's the most crazy. He's like, you know what I mean? Like people.
He's like literally like a cold-blooded killer. He just kills people for fun. That's like his thing.
That's fine. That's fine though, because like my like top waifus are like Makima, fucking Olivia Armstrong from Full Metal. Alex Armstrong's.
She's a baddie.
I know she's a baddie. You know, it's like obviously Nico Robin from One Piece, but you don't know much about her yet, but you will. Robin is like Chase has a soundbite of me he uses on his fucking Twitch streams. It's me proclaiming my love for Nico Robin. It's pretty funny, so if you ever catch it. But I love
Have you
Robin.
read Dorohedoro?
I've seen about half the anime. I haven't read the manga.
There is a lot of
I really like the main female with
Me too.
Kaiman's main girl. What's the I can't even think of her name.
Noi?
Yes. I think she's great. And I also like there's that other girl that like she keeps her face covered, but she's like on the bad guy team.
Is it Nikito? Wait, is it which? No, I think Noi is the one with the face cover, and Nikito is the one with Cayman.
I like both of them as of right now, where I am in the anime, but I haven't finished the first season. I need to finish it up.
No, okay, this is gonna sound bad, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Noi can step on me. Okay, she's
You heard it here on the.
Clip it, guys!
Yes!
She can
That's
step.
hot. That's hot. That's
Wait,
amazing.
I gotta see it. Wait, what's it? What's
I'm
this
a
person
fan.
look like?
Come on now.
She's dope. She's dope. Honestly, I like her in the
She
anime
is.
so far, but
Yeah.
I need to switch over to the manga. I think some of the anime just wasn't working for me, and I think I need to just try the manga instead.
Yeah, I don't
So-
like the anime either, to be honest.
Okay,
The animation style got me weak.
That's weird. I think I wanted to watch it because the animation looked so different, and I was like,
Look
let
at
me give it a shot.
Look at David's face. Look at David's
But
face.
David,
What's going on?
I'm
David's
sorry.
ready
He
for
gets
her.
it!
I googled
Yes.
the person, but for some reason, like a lot of Rule 34 popped up, so I'm just gonna.
Jesus, David, exit out. Get
Oh,
off
Sure,
the
I'm
internet.
you
sorry,
didn't
I'm
type
sorry.
in
David,
that.
give
No,
me the internet in the
I
middle of
didn't.
the
I didn't type it. It just popped up. I don't know
You
what.
sick
Come on
bastard.
I
I also have a new waifu from a manga that I just finished reading called Planets. It's by the author of the same author as
Planet
Finland
Test,
Saga.
yeah.
Planet Test, Planets.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say it.
You're good.
There's a female in this series who is incredible. She is, her name is Faye, and she
we're just talking about waifus now. This
yeah,
the,
sorry.
the waifu
I
segment.
don't know
I
why
wish I could show you a
Lucina. I like Lucina from Fire
damn
Emblem.
it.
Um,
Sorry.
she's
I
number
want to
one.
find a picture
that's-
of her in this, but I can't find a picture of her.
Isn't
Whatever.
Lucina
If you ever-
like 15?
If you ever read it, which you should,
She's
HBO,
grown.
because it's
She's
by
from the
Makoto
future.
Yukimura, the author of Vinland Saga, so I'm sure you'll like it. And the omnibus editions
Slice of
that
life, though.
wait, what?
Planet Test is more slice of life, I've heard.
Oh,
That's what I've heard, man.
whoever told you that, they may have watched something different than what I watched, because I will say, here's the thing that people get confused about. The anime and the manga have pretty much the exact same characters and setting, but like the completely different storylines. So the creators of the anime lifted the
Really?
concept from the manga. Yeah. So the creators of the anime, they lifted the concept from the manga, lifted the characters, the setting, and they just wrote their entire own storyline. So the anime is its
Wow.
own unique experience, but the guys who created it, you know what, they went on to create a series called Code Geass. So a lot of people really love the anime version, but it's a completely different experience in the manga version. But I will say the manga version is a little bit more. It is okay. I won't downplay someone who said it was slice of life, because it is episodic, and there is some of that in it. But I like just finished it, and it's I really enjoyed it. It explores the psychology of being in space, and I think that is something that a lot of their series don't. I've never read something that has really talked about that, but the idea of complete darkness, the idea of loneliness, the idea of separation from individuals you love, people you care about, and the idea of finding purpose in the jobs that we do. That's the like theming of the series, because at its core, it's about three essentially intergalactic spacemen or trashmen. They collect trash in space. That's like their job. But it's actually a blast, and it's only 5 volumes, and you can buy it as 2 omnibus that Dark Horse put
Two
out.
omnibuses, yeah.
They're gorgeous. The omnibuses are gorgeous.
They do look good.
And I have the original Tokyo Pop, the singles that they made.
Okay, flex.
But
He's flexing a
yeah,
little
sorry,
bit.
little flex.
Flexing a little bit.
I said, whoops.
Shit. I
I
apologize.
got the Tokyo Pops.
I got the
Sorry,
Tokyo
no,
Pops.
stop. So that's how I just recently read it, and it's just a really enjoyable, thought-provoking read. Sorry, it's on
Yeah.
the top of my mind because I just finished it, and I don't like.
Oh, you're good.
This is not the Planet Test podcast, but it just happened to be.
I mean,
fitting,
it
and I
can
was
be,
thinking
Jerry,
about
if you
it,
wanted to. You-
No,
You
it's
know what
not.
this
No, this is
podcast
the
is.
HVL
Direction.
episode. Damn it! This
This is the HVL
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not even the
Mine
uncensored.
now.
This is the HVL manga podcast.
Yeah,
No.
good.
All right, boys. Well, I don't have a lot more. I think that HVL, you've done.
I've learned a lot.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yes.
And I hope that
Ew.
I hope that your fans come over and check it out. I hope that they get to know you a little
Absolutely.
bit better. So
Oh, yeah.
95% of those dudes, okay?
yeah, all,
Come
yeah,
over
we
to our
want all the
96.
dudes to come.
All
Yeah.
those
All the
dudes.
96
Come
over
on,
here.
bro, go.
All the dudes.
Damn it.
All the dudes.
Yeah.
Damn it. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. We're grateful and
Yeah.
happy and always excited to invite anyone in the anime and manga community onto the podcast to talk with us, because it's just an absolute blast. Ever since we started this podcast, now coming up on a year ago, we have just had an absolute blast bringing on people from all different walks of this community and getting to hear from them and their perspectives. And it's been just a joy for us, because there is no. We did this. You said this earlier, HBL, that you start these things in hope of finding community, people to talk to, people to share in your interests with you. And I think that for me, David and Kenny, that was the catalyst for a lot of this. You know, it was the middle of the pandemic, and we wanted an opportunity to find more people to talk about anime and manga with. This has led us to this moment, and I think it's just been a joy, and we've continued to just love putting out episodes every week, and we have a small but dedicated fan base that has really enjoyed what we've done so far, and I think that continues to grow, and it grows because we get to meet people like you, and like, you know, all the other manga. We've now had you're really our first manga tuber on the podcast, to be honest. To be honest,
look at me go.
As much as like Chase does a lot of manga videos and Boogie also does a lot of manga videos, I don't think either of them really consider themselves manga tubers at their core.
Yeah.
Right.
While you, I think, would definitely consider yourself that.
Yeah, it feels right.
Yeah, it feels nice. Yeah. So, thank you so much, boys.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to say? No.
Nope.
HVL, do you want to leave the listeners on any words of wisdom? You want to give them any last minute words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom.
Is there anything you wish you had said during the
well,
last 2 hours that you didn't get to say?
I don't know. I would just say, do what you love, collect what you love, and just do you, man.
That's
just
beautiful.
do you.
I'm getting that tatted on my back.
Yeah, just do
Okay,
you.
sounds good. I need
Awesome.
to see the results though. Like, should I sign it for
Yeah,
you?
yes.
Tattoo,
Yes,
can you
please.
do
An
it?
HVL
Yeah?
signature?
On
An
the break.
HVL signature on your back
Sick.
forever.
That's too
have you-
wild. That's
Have
wild.
you signed something yet, HVL? Have you has someone approached you and asked you to sign something yet?
I haven't. I will say all of the environments that someone would approach me or like just out in public, I have headphones in and I just honestly I look like a stone cold bitch when I'm out in
Damn.
public. So
Damn.
I always think I'm like, if someone knows me, I look so mean right now. They don't look that mean,
They
but-
like see you and they're like,
Here I
wow,
am.
I watch her YouTube videos, but damn, I don't want to talk to her.
You're like, she's
No,
scary.
I always feel bad. but
That's funny.
Here we are.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you to all of our listeners. Again, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of the Uncensored Anime Podcast. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, do all of that wonderful stuff because it helps us to grow here on the platform on YouTube, as well as you can jump on over to Spotify and Apple Podcasts where you can give us a follow, give us a 5-star review. That also helps us to grow on those platforms as well. So if you enjoyed the show, if you enjoyed any episode that we've ever done here on the podcast, then make sure that you go in, dive in, and give us a little bit of that love. So this has been the Uncensored Anime Podcast, and we're saying peace.